Hey guys and girls, just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about Buzzsprout. Start a podcast today with free podcast hosting for Buzzsprout, easy podcasting software for hosting, promoting, and tracking your podcast. Buzzsprout is the best way to publish a podcast online for secure and reliable hosting to full iTunes support. Get started for free, no credit card required, cancel at any time.
Stats are for losers.
That's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass.
This is what's great about sports. This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game.
Welcome to the Airin podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Airing It Out podcast. I am your host, Dustin Marion. I am always blessed and honored when I have my man, the captain, Uncle Salty, in the building. What is going on, young man? And how are you doing?
It is my honor, sir. And I have to say I'm tickled pink right now as my Chiefs are going back to the Super Bowl. So
you know what?
It's been a really, really good day for me.
I gotta say, and we got a lot of things to dig into, my friends and listeners. But what I want to say is that as a historian, the Chiefs have been there, right? If I'm not mistaken, the Chiefs won the third overall Super Bowl in the history of the NFL. And I seen something.
Yeah, we need a 2 or 3.
Yeah, I seen a meme or a thing about like Green Bay, like shaking hands with the Chiefs. And I gotta say, I am no more happier for any organization to be doing this than the Chiefs. They, in my opinion, have done so many things right for a very long time, and one can argue have gotten a raw deal out of it. But I'm so excited for them. I'm so excited for you, bro. And I'm more excited for you because as the people and the listeners will learn, we really, really enjoy Chiefs football. And it's been great. Not only whether it is Super Bowl 3 or the new Super Bowl that they're going to be in or the Super Bowl they just won last season, but gosh, what a phenomenal organization. And I don't think they get enough credit. Because when you look at phenomenal organizations, people say Giants, Green Bay, Steelers, right? Like, when is it going to be that the Chiefs are going to be that household name? The Patriots took it for a long time.
I think that they're emerging. You know, I think they're emerging as one of those institutions, one of the pillars of the league, if you will, because the team is presently constructed really isn't going anywhere. And, you got to go back. They've had, they were bad for a while.
But that's not entirely true. That's not entirely true. Like, they've been competitive for a long time, right? Like, so funny?
Well, yeah,
I don't mean to interrupt you. Yeah, I think they've still been competitive in the last 10 years. I just made an argument, right?
Yeah.
And this is going to drop soon, folks, if you are really listening. I made an argument of why Frank Gore is an automatic slam dunk Hall of Famer. After looking at it, he really isn't. Based on some of the metrics me and an individual used to create the outcome of that overall greatness. But the only reason why I bring this up is because in my research, and I thought about you again, Larry Johnson, on a really bad team, led the league in rushing for like 2 or 3 years back to back. Like, so the Chiefs
that wasn't a really bad team, though.
But what I'm saying
that wasn't
the Chiefs have never been the Jacksonville Jaguars. So when you say 10 years, that's not true.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? Like, they've been 800. I understand what you're saying. They've been 500 or above.
Like,
Yeah, they're not bums.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
that,
this.
like the
Yes.
team may have had some bad seasons,
Yes.
but it's never been an organization that was a laughing stock.
Facts.
But if you look at the Patriots, dude, they were a laughing stock before Bob Kraft bought the team.
No, I agree. That's a different organization. Like that's what I'm saying. Like when you're saying institutions, and I'll tee you up for this. When you say institutions, definitely Kansas City has to be considered. In my opinion, it was before, but now you have to seriously consider if they're going to their second, right? Win, lose, or draw. In my opinion, the last 20 years of KC has to be on the map. So you just can't say it's Green Bay, it's New York, it's New England. Like you or Pittsburgh, you legitimately have to now make an argument that the Kansas City Chiefs have been committed to winning for the last 20 years. Because my guy,
yeah, they're in the conversation. They're in the conversation.
Who's my guy, who I don't know if he's a Yellow Jacket guy already or is going to be. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he is. They had Tony Gonzalez. Tony Gonzalez is a fucking Hall of Famer. Tony Gonzalez was on a team all through the time you're going to scrutinize in this conversation, and you don't have a schmo at tight end and not be kind of like you know what I mean? Like there's no way fucking Travis Kelce fucking just stays on the Chiefs. And it's funny that we use the Chiefs, but he stays on the Chiefs because they were just by accident good, right? Like he's staying on them because he knows they're good. Tony Gonzalez stood on that team because there was always a chance that they could win. And this speaks more to you, which I want you to educate me and the listeners about. What was Kansas City Chiefs football 2000, 2005, 2010, right? Because now we seem like fogies. We're in 2021. Shit, if I fucking make a reference to 18, I look crazy.
They were, when I first started watching the Chiefs, it was in the Marty Schottenheimer era. And they ran the ball and they played defense. And that's why I fell in love with that football team. And I think really the head coach was the individual that I gravitated to most on that football team. They had Derek Thomas and they had Neil Smith and Dale Carter and all these guys when they were making their first attempt to be a great franchise. But really, I think about Marty from that time. To me, he was the biggest figure in that locker room. A lot like I think I don't think specifically as much about Andy Reid because the playmakers are so dynamic, but he is just as much a part of this as Marty ever was. But and then after the Marty Schottenheimer era, the boat was adrift for a bit until Dick Vermeil came to town, and then that team was just, it wasn't as much Dick as it was the O-line and the tight end and the fullback. And that's when, Tony Gonzalez, I think, had his best seasons in Kansas City in that Dick Vermeil offense. And then again, another 4 to 6 years of 2-12, which brings Eric Berry, guys like that to town. And then Andy Reid and Alex Smith come to town. And ever since then, they've been in the running for a Super Bowl on the outside of contention. But at the end of the Alex Smith era, I think they were right on the verge of a Super Bowl anyway. I think if maybe Alex had played in town 1 or 2 more seasons, he may have been able to win the Super Bowl with this group of skill position players if they had maybe left him for one more season, but they had a fucking Jedi Master on the bench and they knew it, so he had to get the ball, which is understandable. And here we are now.
You know, I appreciate that depth because I don't, like I said, I think that people live, especially in the NFL, live a short memory accolades situation. We've talked about it off air a little bit, but when you think about Marty Schottenheimer and Marty Ball, like holy fuck, like I wish I could have really seen Marty Ball in KC. I wasn't that fortunate or that lucky. I was able to see Marty Ball in San Diego underneath the Chargers. And
right.
Again,
yeah, that's right.
And again, when you were talking about having players that weren't household names and getting the most out of them in KC, I think no one did that better even as a Charger. Like, he made Drew Brees a household name. He made Phillip Rivers a household name. He made Antonio Gates a household name. He made LaDainian Tomlinson a household name. He made Michael Turner, Darryl Sproles, Vincent Jackson. I mean, I could go on and on and on, right? And then when you talk about the Dick Vermeil time, right? And Dick Vermeil, gosh, I mean, he gets all his love from being so phenomenal as an Eagle. And of course his, crescendo was the greatest show on turf, right?
Sure.
But you guys also had a little bit of that too, right? And then, when I'm listening to you, I'm like, fuck, these guys have had some really good coaches. And then you back that up with an Andy Reid. Like, holy fuck. Like, when you look at the history of this team, they're not slouches. They're not slouches at hiring head coaches.
They've gotten some all-time greats there.
We're gonna get the best guy available, not just the best guy. We're gonna get the best guy available. And so now I'll take it even a step further, just for the listeners again, if they're listening. Andy Reid comes from this phenomenal fucking culture in Philadelphia right after Vermeil, which is a really weird, segue / like crossing track situations, because you get Vermeil from Philly, goes to Kansas City, then you get Homeboy again, and Andy Reid has done, in my opinion, more with less as a Philadelphia Eagle. That was unbelievable, because I'm still angry at Todd Pinkston for not making some of the catches he did, because one can argue that Andy Reid should have beaten that Tom Brady Belichick team in Philadelphia. But again, it comes over to the Chiefs and just does great work, does phenomenal stuff. And so, like, again,
when you say,
go ahead, please.
The Dick Vermeil bit. The thing I remember very most about Dick Vermeil was before he was a Chief. And the thing I love about these head coaches too is, like, they're all very emotional guys. Not so much Andy Reid, but Dick Vermeil was a really, really emotional guy.
One could argue that Dick Vermeil's weakness was his emotion, right? Because I remember
him holding back tears.
Yeah,
and
he was a very emotional. He was a very emotional coach.
After Trent Green got hurt, I remember him saying, "We will rally behind Kurt Warner, and we will play good football." And that moment still, like, it gets me misty just thinking about it. Like, here's the leader of this team, and if this were war, his general just died. His general just had a heart attack, and we're right about to go to war. And he kept it together. He was emotional. Yeah, the whole team was hurt, but he was like, fuck that. One guy doesn't make the team. We're gonna get behind this guy, and we're gonna fight. That started to make me love Dick Vermeil.
You know what's funny? And I love Dick Vermeil too. You know what's funny as watching all these pressers, and shout out to Josh Booty, because I want to talk to him more about this, because fucking Josh Booty, bro, he's been coached by fucking everybody. Do you know he's been coached by fucking Bruce Arians? This guy fucking blows my mind when I like talk to him sometimes. I'm like, guy, who in the fuck have you not been around or who you've not been coached by? Like, goddamn, you've been around a lot of motherfuckers, huh? So what I was gonna say was, you know, Dick's approach, being so emotional and being so candid, was like the last bit of that, right? Because coaches are not allowed to be that way anymore. And how great was it through the media to tie in his team by saying, no, this is my guy right here. He took a grocery bagger, okay? Homeboy was bagging groceries, okay? And he said, this grocery bagger, I got this. No problemo. And I'll be honest with you.
An Iowa barnstormer.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. I think that was probably Dick Vermeil's moment, where not only was it like convincing the whole team that they had a guy, but also convincing the whole entire world that they were going to be a problem. And they were a problem. I mean, one could argue, right, if allegedly the Patriots didn't steal their game plan, they could have won too. And Dick could have been in a whole nother fucking stratosphere when you reference coaches. Because I think Dick just getting one really didn't put that cherry, you know, like that icing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
yeah,
you
it didn't
got
give him the
it,
respect.
but it's okay.
Yeah,
You're really
right.
not that good. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's something that's happening with Andy that's fascinating. But go ahead. Tell me right now.
Well, he and Marty both have that same reputation of, yeah, your team is 4-12. Okay, I'm coming to town. Next year we're going to be 500, and then the year after that we're going to be in the playoffs, and then the year after that we're going to be a legit Super Bowl contender. You know, and we're going to set up a culture here of winning, and you know, that's something that Marty did in 3 different places.
You know what I'm going to tell you? Because you know, yeah, you know what I'm going to tell you on this? I wonder, because I'm reading this book by Bill Walsh, and it's not really by Bill Walsh, it's by some writer who put together a lot of Bill Walsh's thoughts. I wonder if that is the defining moment of the West Coast offense, where I have this offense, and all I need to do is figure out some of the people that I need within this offense to elevate it. Like, I don't need all pros. I just need all pros at certain positions, and then I would be able to execute beyond, right? Like, watching what the Niners did in the early 80s to many teams, you could say has been done moving forward on other teams, but I don't feel like they truly embrace it. And now bringing about that cherry on top that I think that the Reed is going to be in the realm of, because now you go to 3 Super Bowls and you might win 2, is having that understanding of, like, it's just, and it sounds stupid the way I'm going to say it, but it's just X's and O's. So if it's just X's and O's, I just need some X's. And then shit, if I get like a double X or a triple X or a quadruple X, then I'm all right. But all I really need is just a couple X's in a couple places, and I can make shit happen. Because I feel like Marty Schottenheimer made shit out of nothing. Dick Vermeil for sure on that. I mean, he got lucky in the Rams, but I don't think that he had that same success in KC. And then same thing with Andy. Andy obviously been trending up. But you know, another coach that a lot of people don't talk about, who's my guy? Herm Edwards. And Herm Edwards, a lot of people don't like the way he coached the Chiefs, but that's another dude on the fucking, you know, echelon of guys. And it's weird because they seem to pick a lot of emotional coaches, right?
The Chiefs, Herm Edwards was the middle of a really, really rough time for them.
Facts.
That was the middle of maybe
Yes, it was tough.
back to back to back head coaches where they couldn't get over over 500 in wins, and also he was at the end. Herm showed up at the end of the Carl Peterson era, who was the GM for the longest time in Kansas City. And then he got fired. But I was very, very hopeful when Herm came to town, and I was really disappointed with what we were getting from the Chiefs at that time. They just weren't a good team.
You know, it was weird because it's weird how much of a not only does Twitter think I'm a Chiefs fan, but it's weird because when Herm got like exiled out of New York to go to Kansas City, I found it perplexing that they weren't able to be more competitive. You know what I think? Looking back at it now, I think that the Chiefs had an identity through Marty Ball, and they never figured out a way to get out of it. Where they were stuck in a rut where we always have the best offensive line, we usually have a really good running back, and we're just gonna run it down your fucking throat. We could give two fucks what the fuck we do. I could care. Like, if you think about the last 20 years before Patty and everybody else showed up to the building, the Chiefs were known for running the rock down your fucking throat. Like, they didn't care. They didn't care.
It was really hard for them to transition away from the blueprint they had for a team, because for one, after they got rid of Marty, they went to the first head coach they hired was a defensive coordinator, who was Gunther Cunningham. So it was kind of like, we're almost there. There's just a few things to tweak, And unfortunately, what they needed at the time was an offensive-minded head coach instead of going on to a defensive-minded head coach. So it took a while for them to transition away from that blueprint of run the ball and play defense. And it wasn't until, I can't remember the name of the prick head coach they had for a couple of years right now. He was the offensive coordinator for the Cardinals when they went to the Super Bowl. And he also was the guy he was an offensive coordinator in Pittsburgh as well. He was the head coach there for 2 or 3 years. He was a real douchebag. I can't remember why. I can't remember his name. But that's really when they finally just blew everything up. That was like let's just wipe our hands clean of all the culture and all the head coaches and just start from the beginning. And that's about the time they hired Scott Pioli, I believe, from the Patriots. And that, I think, was the beginning of the Chiefs starting to win in the modern era, the last 8 to 10 years. No, most people are from.
Yeah, I can't agree with you more. I think that not only the Chiefs had to abandon that, a lot of other teams had to. But I find it fascinating that the Chiefs had such a hard time with that because they just had a recipe for success, bro. Like I was saying, I was looking up Frank Gore's numbers, and every time I bring up Frank Gore, I hear Larry Johnson, Priest Holmes, like. And it was bugging me out because I was trying to make an argument for my man Frank, and I'm like, man, you didn't even crack the top 5, and you barely cracked the top 10. But the Chiefs were that organization that was committed to the run, and so as we have seen,
and Larry Johnson was rushing for like 1,800 yards back then in a season, and Gore never got over like 1,400.
Bro, you know what I wanted to tell you, and you're gonna find this even more fascinating. Doing my research on trying to give my top 10 of guys, right? And the rule of thumb has been 3 years. We try to change it, but because we started with it, we went with it. There is so much mobility in the NFL on the running backs. We will never see an 1,800-yard rusher ever again. Now, granted, I say that, right? And King Henry.
You just did. Dude,
hold on.
Just rushed for 2,000 yards.
Right, I got you. And he just ran for 2K. But the next guy behind him just cracked 1,000. And the next guy behind him just cracked 1,000. And the next guy behind him just cracked 1,000. Like, so what I'm saying is that as you were trying to explain to the listeners about Casey's transition, the whole entire NFL had to make this transition. Where they had to understand where, hey, bro, we don't need a back. That's why I think Tennessee is a little hung up right now. Tennessee's in this weird place because I love Mike Vrabel. That's the coach, right? Is it Mike Vrabel or Teddy Bruschi?
Yep.
Mike Vrabel.
It's Vrabel.
I think Vrabel's a little caught up.
Bruschi's on TV.
Thank you. I think
and Bruschi's a douchebag.
No, well,
and Vrabel's a cool guy.
Right. Well, we can argue. We could argue who we want to have beers with later, but
right.
But what I'm saying is that I think a fallacy for Tennessee, man, I'm doing good when I start rhyming. Fallacy for Tennessee is you don't win in the NFL with a premier running back rushing for 2K. It won't happen. Because what happens in the playoffs, that shit disappears. And the way the rules and the way... So let's go back a little bit. Not only did Kansas City force themselves into a trend, the trend was happening everywhere. And they found themselves in a bad position because the one thing that they knew how to do great was taken away. Where it was like, oh, you guys run the ball great? Sorry. Check this out. Now we gauge passing yards.
Winning football.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Yep.
We don't care now. You guys dominated like for 10 years. Okay, goodbye.
Yep. That used to be guaranteed to be winning football. Mm-hmm. Now it's just going to keep you in the game.
Correct. And so now when I see King Henry, by the way, on my top 5, he is number 1 and might be number 1 for a long time. That might not be the answer to win games. That might be a finishing point. No, and not even in the Super Bowls. Because a lot of these guys, for example, you know who will get mad about your Chiefs? You guys keep fucking running. I don't even know what number is Allaire. What number is Allaire?
25.
I would stop running 25 and I would start running 31 because every fucking time we run 31, we get first downs. I'm not saying that 25 don't 31. Get first downs. 31. I like 31. 31 is my guy.
Forgotten guy.
Yeah. By the way, he won a Super Bowl with fucking homeboy at 31. How did we forget about him?
No, that wasn't 31. That was a different guy. That was Williams. That was 26.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm fucking up. Okay, so 31 is a new guy to the building? You get it, man. So go ahead. Don't worry about it. We chopped this shit up real sexy.
Yeah. So Andy can pull offensive linemen and running backs out of the ether.
Yeah, of course. As you should. If you're... You know what's so funny? Me being a fantasy player, if I was a GM and I was like holding a position, I can't pull running backs out of my ass. I mean, like, I could see them. I could get them. My magic is wide receivers. But I get it. Like, once you figure out what you could do. Like, I even wanted to dig in this. We're going to try to do so much so fast. It would, like, the one thing that I really want to talk about, and it's not for you and me, but I'm talking about in general. What Nick Saban and Bill Belichick and Ozzie Newsome did in Cleveland ended up shaping the whole entire NFL landscape in the sense of what's valuable and what you draft. And I also believe during the late 90s, early 2000s, the whole entire NFL was shifting. With like, that's what made the NFL dope. No one gives a fuck if you run the rock. You got to shake like 19 dudes and they still don't give a fuck. But if you throw one pass to the house, they're like, this guy's amazing. He's the best ever. Slice spread. Great.
Chicks dig the long ball, babe.
Yo, no shit. Let me tell you something. I met a World Series champion. That motherfucker wrote on the board, chicks dig the long ball. And I said, man, I never understood that until right now. And it's facts. It's facts. It's facts because we're all chicks. You know, I was talking to fucking Josh Booty. I call ourselves couch potatoes because fucking couch potatoes are fucking are talking shit about what supreme athletes should be doing. Motherfucker, you can't even hurt yourself from getting a nacho bag into your motherfucking nacho bowl. So slow your roll down a little bit. But again, in that same parameter and in that same context, all these things are changing. I find it crazy. Like, don't get me wrong. To pull it full circle, don't get me wrong. I love Mike Vrabel for trying to recreate that. But Papa, that shit is over. Like, your running back now needs to be able to catch, needs to be able to block. Like, we just don't give it to you. You run it up the gut, and then you run it up the gut, and then eventually somebody gets tired, and you make one cut, and you take it to the house. That shit is done.
See, but that's the thing to me that makes it weird that these running back salaries have been heading to the toilet, because certainly the overall emphasis on you as the guy I'm going to give the ball to, just you, 30 times in this game, that day and age is over.
For sure.
However, now I need you to do 20 different things as running back.
That's why I thought,
only need you to carry the football.
That's why I thought, and let me pause for a second. That's why I thought, pause. Larry Johnson, the moment I seen Larry Johnson get 350 carries, I was like, that guy's going to die. And it almost made me mad watching the Chiefs on the fucking Herm Edwards. I'm like, bro, you can't feed a man that much. That's too much feeding. And this was me as a novice. Now moving forward, I said, and you're running back. That's why I was so excited about Reggie Bush, because I said, hold up. You need a dynamic player at that position. You need someone and this is where we're gonna split greatness a little bit, because I know you're gonna love this discussion. Adrian Peterson is one of the greatest backs of all time, right? But Adrian Peterson's knock is he don't have hands. So the greatest back of all time, to bring Dick Vermeil into the argument, is Marshall Faulk. Marshall Faulk was the beginning of the guy that could run for 1,000. And then guess what? I'm going to line up as a wide receiver, and he's going to catch.
Well, I'm going to go
for 1,000.
I'm going to go a little bit before you.
Oh, come on. Give it to me, because I'm a youngster. Give it to me, Daddy.
The first guy that really did that, in my opinion,
tell me,
was Thurman Thomas. It was Thurman Thomas.
So was it Thurman Thomas on the Giants, or Thurman Thomas of the Buffalo Bills, or Thurman Thomas on the Cardinals? What Thurman Thomas are we talking about? Because Thurman Thomas played up.
Thurman Thomas on the Buffalo Bills in the K-gun offense.
And homeboy was like fucking O.J. Simpson back there, fucking just cutting fools up, catching the rock, and doing nothing.
He was like the first guy that went 1,000 and 1,000.
Wow!
Like you could expect 1,000 rushing yards and 1,000 receiving yards.
So because you're a senior, is that late 80s or early 90s?
Late 80s.
Late 80s. Okay.
That's late 80s, early 90s. That's right on the cusp. The Buffalo Bills went to their first Super Bowl, I think, in '91, and they went through '94.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Thurman Thomas and the no huddle K-gun offense. That was the first time I had seen a back that was as legit as a pass catcher as he was. But, you know, they weren't moving the the running backs out to wide out. You weren't being split out to wide out.
Right. You were just catching rocks from the backfield.
Swing passes, screen passes, stuff like that. But,
wheel routes.
Was pretty devastating.
And dude, let me tell you something.
You know,
I've watched it. We've played it. It's crazy.
When they back then, the main defense teams would play was 4-3, and the linebackers weren't sideline to sideline guys. Generally, you know, they were plug the hole guys. So when you had a running back, instead of taking the carry from behind center, is getting out to the numbers and catching the ball. The 4-3 defense wasn't really designed to cover that so well, and the personnel wasn't designed.
Yeah, we talked about it. We think that the 3-4 is a little bit flawed in some of the gaps.
Well, it's a little better for. Yeah, the 3-4 they started playing it when they started passing more.
Right.
You know, you started seeing 3-4 defense to try to solve the West Coast offense.
Yeah, I get that, but that's to me. I will rival that with what Bill Belichick did as a New York Giant, and Bill Belichick, which is strange, ran a 4-3, and a 4-3 fuck motherfuckers up.
Well, yeah, but he had.
And then when he went to
some
New
pretty
England,
serious-
he switched it. That's what I'm saying. I find it like interesting the way, like homeboy, you got to play with the personnel you got, bro. Right? Like for example, the game changed.
We were on.
You gotta tell me.
We were on the 3-4 and the 4-3, and Thurman Thomas being the first 1,000-yard receiver.
What I was saying, what I was basically saying is you do the best with the personnel that you have, but Bill for whatever reason excelled amazingly as a Giant on the 4-3, and then goes to New England, and then flips the switch. I think that your personnel in a 3-4 has to be super good. The coaching level, because that's what I was gonna say. We just watched the game today. Okay, how is JPP? Okay, so that's what I was gonna say. Let me rewind the tape. That way, maybe I could do some edits or whatever. In this discussion about the 4-3 versus the 3-4, right? Everything now is a freaking everything is a freaking hybrid. Today, I watched.
Yes.
We watch right now. Like I said, this game, this show is being recorded after the 2 championship football games leading up to the Super Bowl, and I've seen Jason Pierre-Paul be a linebacker in a weird hybrid version of the 4-3. Because if I had JPP, I'm not putting him in coverage. I'm like, you need to hit that guy right there. But where we're at now, the complexity of all this stuff, we got fucking DNs covering tight ends. We have like the show that's going on now is just unbelievable, because there truly is an athlete at every position, especially on defense.
The Bill Belichick. It was. I mean, it's not just Bill. A lot of head coaches, in between the 3-4 scheme and the 4-3 scheme, and all the defenses that the new defensive philosophies and defensive sets. Bill was really good for playing people using his linebackers to play on the D line. That was something that he always did. So it might be a 3-4 set, but there are 5 guys on the line of scrimmage matched up over top of each. He basically will play like a 5-2 bear front with a 3-4 personnel. If that's not too nerdy for if that's not too nerdy for your fans to understand.
First of all, are you fucking kidding me? We only talk to fucking nerds on this show, so you goddamn right. You motherfuckers better understand that we're running a 5-2 with motherfucking 3-4 personnel and a 4-3 offense, but we're over on the left side. That makes us look like we're in 5-2. Like, come on, if you guys can't fuck with me on this, we're not fucking together.
And I hate to always to bring like corny Madden shit in. But another thing that I've seen happen as these defenses are evolving, and something that I used to do, is when I was in a nickel set, and I almost was sure it was going to be a pass. Oftentimes, I had a really good third safety on my roster, so I would bring one of those safeties down and play middle linebacker with that safety. So, which, turned out for personnel as I don't know, I guess they kind of call that a big nickel.
You know what's weird? Weird because, bringing Madden into the fold, and I think you always got to bring Madden into the fold, because what we're discussing is chess, okay? And I think no other sport is similar to chess than football. Like, you can make arguments for basketball maybe, and it would be
No,
a
you're absolutely
stretch.
right.
It would be a stretch for baseball. But the real, like, my guys versus your guys, and if I lose a guy, you take a guy, is football, which is chess. And when you really, really, really look at how you're evaluating the personnel and what you need to get out of these guys, I mean, for me personally, right, I always come out of a 3-4 base, no matter what the downage or distance is. Because with a 3-4 base, I know I at least have 4 guys that are going to rush you, right? Like, in a 3-4 base, 3 guys are going to rush you. And then the other guys, we're going to figure out what they do. In a 4-3, we're rushing. And now, because you said nickel. The reason why I don't like to go to nickel is because the moment you go to nickel, I replace a cornerback. I replace a linebacker with a cornerback. And I want a little bit more angry, or I want a little bit more anger and tenacity within those short downs, right? Which is what most people do, especially in the NFL. When we're knowing that they're going to start airing it out, it's different. And I know, like you were saying, bringing in that extra safety to almost create a weird cover 3, but not really. But in the same token, I come out in a 4-3 base because I need fat people, and I know this is terrible, but I just need big guys to just occupy space. I'm not running zone. But if that slot receiver is coming across the middle, I need a big linebacker to push him over a little bit. If we're in nickel,
You don't want a skinny DB to run with him.
no. He's gonna get smoked. And I've seen it. And dude, you know what's so crazy? You know how, like, people talk about pilots and virtual hours in the air, or like simulation hours? Shout out to my wifey. She has some really smart motherfuckers in her family. She got a bunch of engineers, and these motherfuckers literally build pilot simulations. I have played tons of football simulations. You know what happens when my DB tries to chase the wide receiver for the first down? The wide receiver gets the first down. Do you know what happens when my linebacker chases the wide receiver for a first down? He either fumbles the rock, doesn't make the catch. Like, there's just a little bit more of, that's why I said a little chunk in the middle. But I'm not trying to, we got a lot of things to cover on this show. I'm not trying to digress. I think what we were really talking about was the advancements that have happened through coaching. We're also discussing the advancements that have happened through the Chiefs. We're also talking about how Marshall Faulk and Thurman Thomas might have been the guys that have revolutionized the game, in a sense where even if I'm playing nickel or base 4-3, check this out. My linebacker cannot keep up with him. And for sure, if I'm running nickel, he's going to run that guy over as a DB.
Yeah, the safety's got problems.
You got a lot of troubles. Like, we're in a different situation now, right? Which is why, as an offensive mind guru, not me specifically, but watching these guys, it makes total sense why they shifted the game. To me, it breaks my, like today, okay, again, after the 2 biggest games of the NFL season, it broke my mind when I'm watching Rodgers and I'm like, dude, just throw it to that guy right there. Like, we could get a first down. Like, everybody's so consumed with pushing the ball up the field that I feel like the check down is abandoned. And I've watched it all season be abandoned. And sure, it might make great plays short term, but in the long term, not only in the game, but throughout the season, I have felt that it's hurt teams. Where, you know, a lot of people talk shit about Brett Favre, and Brett Favre leads the most touchdowns and the most interceptions. But one of the things that I've always enjoyed about Brett Favre he checks it down. He's like, you know what? I don't want to get hit. Oh, here you go, bro. You hold that shit.
That's a big tool of the West Coast offense.
Right. Yes. And you know what's so funny?
It's a big...
Me listening to Bill Walsh's book and me talking to you and all the stuff that we did, I have found that I'm a geek to the West Coast offense. It makes the most sense in the NFL, and it's weird because it was kind of invented 40 years ago, and it makes more sense now than it did 40 years ago. Because nobody was throwing the rock 40 years ago. Everybody was running the rock.
Still, the concepts are still the basis of almost every legitimate pass game or pass offense in the NFL. The Shanahans are running West Coast passing philosophies. Andy Reid is primarily a West Coast philosophy guy.
That would be fascinating to see how many coaches are trending towards that, because I would probably say the Ravens are up there too. I would say the
coach
Steelers,
of the Raiders, John Gruden.
I would say the fucking
Gruden.
the Raiders. Like, so basically, It's weird that eventually, right? Like Marty Ball, he was like the last of the Mohicans. To pull it back a little bit, seriously, that he was the last guy that was like, "Yo, we run the rock. It don't matter. I don't care. I don't care. You're gonna win. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna fucking run this shit down your goddamn throat, and then we'll see what the score is at the end." That's the name of the book. That's the name of the book. I forget what the fucking name of the book is, but the name of the book is like something crazy, like just do your fucking job and forget about the score. And I think Marty got that, but then the referees got involved and they fucked up everything. Because the moment the refs
changed all the rules.
Yeah, they totally did. They changed so many rules.
After the Patriots beat up the Colts for like the third season in a row in the playoffs, and it was the Peyton Manning offense was reduced to like single-digit points. They were like, okay, no more like defensive holding or fighting. The receivers can run free now.
You know what's weird for me, and you can tell me more about this. You know what's weird for me, for Peyton, right? Like, I got these two statues, and I bet you these two statues are worth a lot of money. And I'm not saying like a lot of money. But I might have bought them for $20. They might be worth $100. The two statues I have is Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. It's crazy to think how the league, good, bad, or indifferent, fuck Peyton Manning. Like, imagine being 13-0 and it not being good enough. Imagine that. You know what I'm saying? I've seen that one.
13-0 is what?
Imagine being 13-0 and it's not good enough. It doesn't matter. This show is going to be great. But imagine that, dude. Imagine being 13-0 every season. And then you finish like 13-3 and you still lose. Like, imagine that. It doesn't matter.
I just think that
I go 12-0. I go 12-0. And then I say, hey, everybody take a vacation. We won all the games. You guys take a vacation. Everything's going to be good. And then the moment we suit up again, we play like Captain America and he smokes us. Right? Like, imagine that. Right? Like, bro, there's not one team, in my opinion, who has suffered more when we talk about Chiefs and we talk about organizations. Bro, the Colts, of course the fucking league changed the rules. They were getting smoked.
Yeah.
They were getting smoked. Like, literally in the 3-4,
Patriots.
Yeah. The Patriots figured out.
The Patriots did a job on the Steelers too, dude. The Steelers have just as much to be pissed as
I would be
Colts
upset.
did.
I would be upset too. I would be upset if I was a Chiefs fan. I mean, excuse me, if I was a Steelers fan as well. Agreed with that. Like, think about this. This is what I was telling you. Back to the base formations. Belichick figured out a way to maximize linebackers in space where it didn't matter if they were good or not. I just put him here,
That's
and then
what's
the way
always
the
been great
ball is
about
going
his
to go,
defenses.
I'm going to shut it down. I don't give a fuck. He's just going to stand here. We're not even playing zone, but he's going to stand right here, okay? And then you know what's going to happen? You're not going to catch a rock. Like it's
Bill has
yeah, he's bananas. He's bananas. I don't even know. Okay, so let me rewind the tape a little bit before we start going into how much we love Bill. What is the tuna's discipline? Is the tuna's not a West Coast guy because he beat the West Coast doing defense. So what is Bill Parcells' coaching tree?
I'm not sure as far as the offense
Me
goes.
neither.
I imagine
Me neither.
the only other thing going on is the Don PO.
No, his offense. You know what? You know what his offense is? His offense is the best defense. This guy is such a fucking schmuck.
Is what?
The best offense is a great defense. Bill Parcells has dominated with defenses.
Yeah, he's been defensive minded, and he's been basically run the ball on offense.
Yes. Let's run the rock. Defense, run the ball. I mean, I'm a big Tuna fan.
You know, Tuna's influence is as strong as anybody's.
He's crazy when you think about it, bro. He's rivaling Wash's system. That's how long Homeboy's been in the building.
Yeah, there's a lot of influence coming from those two or three guys. I mean, you know, Belichick is part of Bill Walsh's tree, so there's really, I mean, that says a lot in my opinion. And also, you know, I told you how the Patriots were a fucking joke, like literally butt of the joke franchise for the first 2/3 of my life. The thing that changed the fucking New England Patriots was hiring the Tuna. That changed everything. You know, and that's what I'm like. People need to understand that in more than any other sport, front office and head coaching is important in football. You know, that's why these one guy can leave his team, go to a 4-12 team, and in 2 years they would be a winning team. You know, that's why Gruden can do that. That's why Marty can do that. That's why Dungy can do that. Because head coaching and leadership and the mind behind the chess pieces has more influence on the outcome of the game than any other sport, by far, in my opinion, in football. And I don't think you can hear me.
No. I got you. What I was just thinking about that. It's so true. I mean, it is the most prolific game because you have to have 22 dudes buy in. That's crazy. And now, when you tell me that Bill Belichick is kind of a follower of Bill Walsh and a disciple of fucking Parcells, like, of course, homeboy. I mean, like, he was taking advantage of things before they were being taken advantage of. That's why they had to change all these rules. And Bill Belichick is one of the greatest minds of coaching we've ever seen. And now, saying that in the same breath, I think right behind him is Andy Reid in that same breath.
Well, they don't want boring football, so that's why they changed the rules, because a lot of people can't appreciate a 13-6 football game. They would much rather see what we're getting now, which is, 38-21.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with all that. I just, for me, it's just extremely fascinating watching the evolution of the NFL, because I think you and I talked about it just recently. But in the 90s, the NFL wasn't shit. And it took
there were those of us that still loved it, but
sure, but
it wasn't the number one sport in the country.
No, it took back place to fucking baseball and basketball, and basketball was reigning king.
In basketball, yes.
Basketball was number one. When MJ was in the building, no one else gave a fuck about anything else.
Oh yeah, Magic Johnson. Yeah, I know.
No, Michael Jordan, you son of a bitch! How dare you? Magic was unbelievable. Wait. How dare you?
I
know. I should be mad about that.
How dare you, sir?
I agree. You know what's so funny? That Lakers show team doesn't get enough love for what they did.
They do in my opinion.
Yeah, but when
I'll take the Showtime Lakers against. I will take the Showtime Lakers against any team in the history of the game.
I know you would, and now looking back, I would too. But a lot of people wouldn't. Isn't that crazy? Like we're talking about like.
Dude, I just
tell me. I love when you tell me stuff.
I just do, like, I was in Boston, you know, and I love basketball, and of course I love baseball too. But the Showtime Lakers were playing basketball in a way that it was just different, you know. Magic is no looking and behind the back and catching inbound passes and overhand, like, quarterback throwing the ball all the way down court for a fast break layup after a made basket. And, like, you can't fast break after a made basket. A fast break is a thing that happens after a miss, and you take the rebound down and you guys get numbers. And the Lakers were like, no, fuck that. We're fast breaking after made baskets.
No, dude, I'm telling you, like, yeah, I mean, it is incredible, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, I love when we do this. When we really start to, like, stretch apart certain things, and we really look at it. Like, we just talked about how amazing the Chiefs were, and actually their evolution has been absolutely phenomenal. But I think that a lot of people are remiss when they think of the Lakers. They think of Kobe Bryant, and they don't really think about the Showtime Lakers. Like, what Mr. Bus did was very similar to what Steinbrenner did, and having that dominance. And it's crazy, right, when we look at athletes and players, because we're going to dive into some more stuff in a bit, but there was no better athlete than Magic Johnson. And now, let me say this and this. LeBron is phenomenal. Kobe's phenomenal. Michael's phenomenal. But none of those motherfuckers' names is Magic. None of them. Like, not even Michael Jackson. If anybody, if I was naming kids and they showed me all the motherfuckers' results, I would consider naming Michael Jackson Magic Jackson.
Right.
Right? Like, that would sound cool, because I'm like, okay, Magic, he does stuff. But what Magic Johnson did to that position.
But you get it, dude. Exactly. Like, they named him Magic.
Right. Like, bro, like, check this out.
As a basketball player.
It's not Adrian Peterson Magic. It's not no motherfucking Terrell Owens Magic, Ray Rice, Ray Lewis, any of these dudes. But that guy. And I think that Lou Alcindor, and it's weird because I get into these weird fucking funks. I can't think of my man's apparent, like, I don't know. I think it's his Muslim name. I don't want to be disrespectful. But to have Magic Johnson and Lou Alcindor, of course they were crushing.
Yeah, don't forget Worthy.
Right. Bro, I got a better one for you. Shout out to Don Casey, who came on the show, and oh my god, this guy was like a waterfall of knowledge. He made me fall back in love with Bird. Like, it's so crazy that when you look at the NFL divided by the NBA, it's so different because the team is smaller and you only really need one rock star. To watch these rock stars within rock stars doing shit, like, holy fuck, bro. Like, when I gotta say, I'm very thankful. I'm very thankful for a lot of things, but I'm actually really thankful for the lineage and the history of the NBA, because we've had some dudes, bro. And what I was trying to say about Don Casey was that he had an opportunity to talk to Bird and Coach Bird. I was like, wow. You have all of that?
Let me tell you the big secret about football players. They all want to be on the basketball team. Okay? That's the truth. They all want to be ballers, but they can't. And that's facts.
Just unbelievable, the level of performance from these dudes.
The basketball players are by far the best athletes going. As far as, I bet you they could do well at more sports overall than any other sport, other than maybe wide receiver, as far as coordination goes. But I would say that your average point guard is way more coordinated than your average wide receiver, because after the point guard catches the ball, he also has to dribble it to the hole and score, whereas all the football player has to do is catch the ball and run. That's a whole different ball game.
Yeah, no, it's definitely complex, and we've obviously seen, in terms of boxing players out, how successful tight ends with basketball knowledge have been in the league, because it's just pretty much, I mean, I bet you Kelsey plays fucking basketball, because watching Homeboy.
Oh, he does. Yeah, his scholarship to Cincinnati was basketball and football.
By the way,
but he quickly realized. I saw this in an interview the other day. He said, "You know what happened on basketball? I didn't have the handles," which tells me he didn't love hoop, because handle is just practice. You can improve your handle by 5% every year with practice.
No, I agree with that. Actually, I agree a lot with that. Because, you know, what was it? I think, I forget what the numbers were.
But you know, the Hall of Fame tight end, might be the greatest ever, couldn't even make a college basketball team.
Well, we've already seen how that's worked out for some guys who, you know, so funny. I just had a dude and we were talking about it, and we're trying to jump all over shit, but we'll see. I just had a show that I just did about the alter ego, right? And this dude was breaking down to me
about the what?
Alter ego. Right? Like, all of a sudden you put a cape and a mask on and now you're a problem. Right? And I think it's a little easier to put the cape and the mask on going from basketball to football than it is going football to basketball. Because that cape and the mask shit is going to run out real quick in the basketball shit. Right? Because basketball is funny. Like, the NFL is scrutinized by minutes, but so is the NBA. And you could be fine and dandy with that fucking keeping mass. I would say in probably both fields. But when it comes to the playoffs, it's different. So, in that same regard, I think that what you're saying is that it takes a little bit more work to put it onto the field of basketball. But
I think so.
If you've done your due diligence ish on the basketball field, and
you're free to move around,
right, and you take it to the football field, you're gonna demolish.
You're free to move around.
Yeah.
Yeah. In basketball, you have to dribble it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem.
Mm-hmm. That's totally a problem. Trust me, bro. I feel intimidated by playing basketball because of that. But when it comes to football, all I gotta do is throw the rock. All you gotta do is catch it, right? Like it's so basic.
Yeah.
Right. Basketball is not that basic.
Yeah, and in basketball, well, after you catch the ball, that not only that, but then after that, you have to create a shot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right.
You know.
Right.
A tight end doesn't have to create a shot; he just has to run over somebody.
So what I wanted to tell you on this before we departure from the NFL and get more crazy is that I was super pissed off watching the Bills try to fucking defend against the Chiefs and not understanding. We're like, yo, bro, that guy is gonna get the rock like 90% of the time because he doesn't have to dribble the ball. So if he doesn't have to dribble the ball, then check this out. Make sure that motherfucker doesn't get the ball. Like, if you're breaking it down basics in reverse, saying like, oh shit, I'm playing better because I just have to focus on catching versus dribbling, then you know what, motherfuckers? You motherfuckers need to be paying attention more to the fact that he shouldn't be catching anything. Because the moment he catches, it's a wrap. Like, he's going to take it to the house. And when I seen some of the motions and some of the things that this team did today and have done even last week and have done throughout the season, I was almost dumbfounded because I didn't believe that the Bills were not cognizant of how they were running these plays. Within the game today, again, the Chiefs played the Bills. They exposed themselves, in my opinion, the Chiefs, because they ran the same shit. And it still technically was unstoppable. I don't really believe the word unstoppable exists in the NFL. Right? Because every time they show me some unstoppable guy, the next season, all of a sudden he ain't doing shit. So for me, I found it very weird that the Bills tanked their defense on how they were handling it. I thought they came out smart. I loved a lot of their early zone blitzes. That was fantastic. But as the game progressed, they kind of lost their way in trying to manage and handle. Now, that also could be a personnel situation, right? They might have not had the guys to make the adjustments. And that's the thing. When we're talking about the greatest tight end, you might need to know your adjustments, son. You don't know your adjustments, you're going to get smoked. Oh.
That was their problem.
Wait a minute. You gotta watch this other dude. He is the fastest man on the planet. You've heard of Michael Johnson, right? That guy runs track.
Oh, yeah.
No, this guy's name is Tyreek Hill, and he is the fastest man on the planet. Are you sure you watching him? You sure? You positive? No, he just smoked you for 200 yards. So apparently, you motherfuckers, I don't even know what was the dossier to tell me the weaknesses and strengths on how to win this game. We knew for sure.
Don't forget that Nicole Hardman jet sweeping you for 60 yards on run plays.
But Hardman was taking advantage of already two dudes that were just being nasty. Because you could have fucking,
Right.
you could have put Brandon Rose in that position. You could have put fucking, any motherfucker in that shit. And their jet sweep would have ran fucking perfectly because everybody was so consumed and concerned with what these other cats were doing on the field. And to me, and we're gonna pull this in a. Go ahead, tell me what you want, and I'm gonna tie it up because I want to go to some other stuff that are your strengths.
Well, I'm just saying, if you want to stop the Chiefs' offense, you have to stop Travis Kelce. You know this because I've been screaming this to you since I met you, however many years ago. That the reason the Chiefs' offense is so difficult to stop is because of number 87. Because he just lets them do so many different things, and he just makes it so easy. He's the guy that moves the chains.
By the way, to go back a little bit before I don't mean to interject. When I was saying all this motion and all this bullshit and all this stuff that was predictable, homeboy is literally, like you said, you called him a straw that stirred the drink. Homeboy is in every play, whether it's blocking, whether it's fake blocking, getting the catch, bro, you know what the best play that I've seen today? They had a wheel route from the tight end position, and he burnt the linebacker on the wheel route. What are we doing here? Like, this is why I get a lot of shit, and this show might get shut down for me saying this. This is why I need a bunch of angry dudes on defense, and they all have to have a case. And kill him, man. He can't keep flossing on us like this, bro. Like, this is disrespectful.
Yeah.
Do any of you guys appreciate your job? You know what's weird when we're talking about changes, and we'll leave it on this, and then you can come back if you want a little bit. But we're talking about changes in the NFL, bro. I want the angriest mofo. I'm so excited that Ndamukong Suh is playing in the Super Bowl. Like, dude, at the end of the day, I need guys that are gonna do whatever it takes to get that hit. Like, that's where we're at.
Right.
That's how we're evaluating this shit. Like, what's happening?
Well, I could do without that fucking piece of shit on the field ever, but
Right, a lot of people.
But I understand what you're
right, a lot of people say shit like that. But like I said, bro, fucking, the greatest player on defense was called Lawrence Taylor, and Lawrence Taylor was hitting motherfuckers high on crack. So listen, guys, let's stop pretending.
Yeah, but Lawrence Taylor wasn't known as one of the dirtiest players in the league. I've never heard that said about him.
That's true. That's actually a fair statement.
There's not video. There's not video of Lawrence Taylor stepping on somebody's face while wearing metal cleats.
But also, Lawrence Taylor played in a place or in a time where if he did step on somebody with cleats, it wasn't a news story. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I'm just saying.
No, I get you. But
he's
Lawrence
known
Taylor
for post-whistle shit.
But I get that.
Lawrence Taylor isn't known for being an asshole after the whistle. He's known for ripping your fucking head off during the play, which everyone appreciates.
I get it. I'm not trying to equivocate Ndamukong Suh to Lawrence Taylor.
No, I know what you're saying.
All I'm saying is that I know a lot of people don't like him. All I'm saying is that when you're looking at motherfuckers to make it happen, you need some angry dudes. So, anyways, let's not get too much on this because we've been gushing on the NFL a whole bunch. So I just had some guy on. We're gonna go.
Yeah. Today.
What's up?
I said today is a good day to gush about the NFL. I'm gonna be a slightly redder shade of brown. Due to my cheeks being rosy because my Chiefs are going back to their second fucking Super Bowl, and they look as good as they ever have.
I don't know if I don't know if that is a true statement. The second part, I'm excited for you on the first part. The second part is they're still kind of limping. I mean, granted, they smoked the Bills, but
Whatever you say, homie, they're still kind of limping. It was 19-3. I'm sorry, it was 19-12 at half.
Yeah, well,
and they won by 20 points.
So when I was talking to you earlier, I was trying to send a message to Booty, but Booty was telling me some bullshit about the Green Bay game. I thought that Green Bay's sardines were cooked the moment they entered the playoffs, in my opinion. I think that they were very suited to play the Rams. I didn't believe they were suited to play the Bucks, but I tell you this: the Bucks really showed out in Green Bay more than I thought that they would have. In a lot of the things that we were talking about, which is defense and personnel and positioning, I was a little bit more blown away with potentially the Bills losing the game to the Chiefs. Like, the Pack winning or losing was going to blow me away. The Chiefs winning or losing was going to blow me away. Because the Chiefs lost, that would have been like a kind of a very interesting sound that would have went through the fan base. But they didn't, and they didn't twice, which was fascinating, right? They didn't the Bills, they showed up halfway through the game, but it wasn't enough. and the Chiefs, last week they lost their quarterback, and they still were able to perform, which was weird.
Yeah, another 21-3 game at halftime.
Yeah, like the Chiefs, like back-to-back years, you would think that they would have had like this saving grace, kind of like easy road to success, and they haven't. And even though the fucking Bills were a problem, they were still a problem. Like, the Chiefs game today wasn't like a gimme. They were down, but I'm so mad the homeboy missed the field goal, because they could have been down 10-0, and that's like 2 scores, and they could have been in a totally different trajectory. But you know what I thought about? And we have to move off the NFL after this. What I thought about was young coaching. Stefanski, young coach. Andy Reid really showed to me that he had a Palpatine presence because he was unshook. All right, cool. I lost my quarterback.
The Bills.
No problem.
Everyone was telling me the Bills were a better team than the Chiefs faced in Week 6 in their place.
No, look, I agree.
Right?
I think the Chiefs are a better team. They are a better team. They are a better team.
Well, no, that's not what I said. I said the Bills were a better team than they were in Week 6. They had improved. Their defense got better. Yeah,
they did. They did improve. The
Chiefs beat them worse. The Chiefs beat them worse this game.
No, you know what happened? Look, the defense did improve. The defense scored.
The Chiefs beat them worse.
The problem was that the offense wasn't ready. The offensive was
an absolute. It was a shit stomping. It was a shit stomping. The only reason the fucking Buffalo Bills had double-digit points was because Mecole Hardman muffed a punt.
Yeah, garbage time. Yeah, garbage time.
Other than that, all they did was kick field goals.
Yeah, no, listen, again, we've talked about it, bro. You don't win in the playoffs kicking field goals. Right?
Yeah.
It's almost, some of the thing that would blow my mind and almost makes me think about Bill Parcells. Why are we saving it for the last game? This is the last game. So don't tell me you saving it. Pull all the stops out now. That's why I got to be honest with you. If I had to evaluate a better gangster, I would evaluate Stefanski under the Browns as a better gangster. Better gangster quarterback, I'll take Josh Allen. But both of those franchises didn't really, in my opinion, understood what it was going to take to beat those teams. And I mean team, not teams. Both the Brown organization.
I just think the vast majority of them, they just don't have the personnel, man.
But that's not true. That's not true. That's not true. I don't think that's true. Bro. The only reason why I think that that's not true is because, listen, double one of them. Bro, if that was Bill Belichick could have showed up with the fucking Lions team and wouldn't have got smoked like that. Think about that, right? Like, my man Billy could have, yo, Bill, you on vacation? Yeah. You want to coach this Lions team? Sure. You want to play this Lions team against this Chiefs team? No problem. Bro, the Patriots played the Chiefs this season with bombs. The Chiefs did not smoke the Patriots. You know why? Because Bill Belichick knew one thing. Stop their best players. And he did. Tyreek Hill went more bananas on the Patriots when Tom was on the helm. In the game they played this season, he didn't go ham. Neither did Travis Kelce. They barely won that game. And I'm not trying to disrespect the Chiefs, but it was a little bit more hard fought versus a way mediocre team. Like, that team was garbage.
Yeah. Belichick is the only one that has a scheme that has anything for this offense.
But nobody
else has a clue how to fix it.
But he figures out everything. That's what I'm saying. It's not just the Chiefs fix offense. He's like, yo, bro, that's the best thing you do. I promise you won't win me on that. I promise. You're not going to get that. Your other dudes are going to show up. I'm going to stranglehold what you do best. Bro, I think the final on that game was something like 23 to like 10. Something small. And that game, when the Patriots played the Chiefs this season.
Oh, this year? Yeah. It was like, I don't even think the Chiefs scored 30 that game.
Right, no. Because Billy wasn't about that. That's what I'm saying. So, like, how are other teams missing the mark? You get what I'm saying? Like, bro, if this one dude could slow them down, you got talent. Like, think about this. If Bill Belichick was the coach of the Browns, they would have more success facing the Chiefs defensively. Exactly the same thing that would have happened today with the Bills. And so that's the thing. And we'll put it in a great, like, little nutshell that, listen, at the end of the day, you could have other players, but it's really about coaching.
Well, keep in mind that 3 of the last 4 times Bill Belichick's defense has played Chiefs, they've allowed over 35 points. Okay, so yeah, Bill has
by the way, that's only during the regular season. That's only during the regular season, because that one postseason game that they had you guys by the nuts, and it took for Patrick Mahomes to start doing crazy shit.
That's not actually the case.
I don't know about that. Tom Brady won the Super Bowl that season.
Points. They scored 30. They scored 38 points in that fucking game, dude.
Yeah,
that's almost 40.
In garbage time.
They lost 41 to 38.
In garbage time.
No, not in garbage time. What are you fucking talking about garbage time? The AFC Championship game went to overtime, nigga. How can that be garbage time? There's no garbage time in an overtime game. What are you talking about?
Man, you be making me want to watch more games, like replays and shit, because I could have swore that in the first 2 quarters of that game,
You know why they won that game?
the Patriots
Because they gave the Chiefs.
the Patriots
Chiefs
took the most
2 possessions in
electrifying
the first half.
team. Correct. The most electrifying team in the
Yes,
NFL
because they gave
to
them
nothing.
2 possessions in the first half.
Okay.
Yeah,
So what are you
yeah.
saying?
Because they gave them 2 possessions in the first half.
Yeah, that's a beast. Sorry. Okay. So you turned it up second quarter, or in the half.
It had very little to do with their defense. And then in the second half, the Chiefs came out and scored 38 points.
Yeah, that's great. But you got smoked in the first half.
No,
that
you don't,
inevitably
nigga, you don't get smoked in an overtime game.
I get.
They didn't get smoked.
I get the end of the outcome, but the Patriots dominated that game for almost 3 quarters, bro, with garbage players. Like, think about this.
First of all,
go ahead.
How are you telling me a team that won the Super Bowl had garbage players?
I'm talking about on defense, and I'm specifically speaking to defensive backs. That the Patriots have had mediocre defensive backs since fucking Darrell Revis was in the building, and prior to that, it was I was gonna say Lawyer Malloy, but it wasn't Lawyer Malloy. It was Ty Law. Bro, they showed up with the Chiefs were way
that
better
Patriots
than them.
Was like a top 5 defense.
But the Patriots, the Chiefs were way better than them on offense, bro. Like, I still cringe, and I can't remember his name. Stephen Gilmore. Gilmore. I don't know how he's the best defensive back in the league. I don't know how that's possible. How was that possible?
I don't know how everyone else looks at that game and is like, wow, Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback ever.
No, he played like shit in that game.
Patrick Mahomes was a bum in that game.
No, I would never say that either. That sounds stupid.
Never in it.
No, that's crazy too.
This is stuff I hear people saying. And you know why they won that game? Because Belichick schemed the fuck out of them.
Yes.
In the first half.
Yes.
He knew that they couldn't stop the run game, and they couldn't stop catching out of the backfield.
That's what I'm saying. So game over. Game over.
So this has nothing to do with defense. No, but the game wasn't over. See, because games over in the first half don't go to overtime.
I get that, but I feel like
Bill
was
when you lose the lead in the fourth quarter. The game's not over. You're losing. The Patriots were losing in the fourth quarter.
I know that.
The Patriots were losing until
that's Tommy's thing, though. That's Tommy's thing, bro. Like, Tommy.
Fuck out of here, that bullshit.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, this dude. I know you hate him so much, bro. You know what? Look at this, right? I just did a show about the alter ego. Okay, Tiger Woods, a no go. Mike Tyson, no go. Even Michael Jackson,
nigga. Tom Brady was. Nigga, don't give me that shit, because Tom Brady threw the game-losing interception in that game, and thank to fucking Christ that number 55's toe was 4 inches offside.
But that's what I'm saying.
They were never in the game.
Bro, this is the same guy. This is the same guy. They fucking snowplowed a place in fucking Oakland so he could take a fucking field goal. This is the same guy that lost to a helmet catch. This is the same guy who everybody knew you run fucking Lynch up the gut and he still won the game. Like, this is a guy that's down 24-3 in the Super Bowl. Like, homeboy just hangs around.
And this is also the guy that threw the game-losing interception in that game. And got lucky as fuck that dude's toe was an inch off the thing.
Listen, Tom threw a
I
fucking
mean, I
touch.
give credit where
Tom,
credit is due. They could
listen.
won that game fairly,
No, whoa.
but
I think that it was
that was not a
circumstantial.
blowout. That was not a
No, but what I'm
that was not
saying
a
is
blowout. That was
those
not a game that
first two
the Chiefs
quarters,
weren't in.
the Belichick out-scripted Andy Reid. And that's a fair statement. I don't give a fuck who was playing chess. Those two dudes, Bill
I never
Belichick.
said that wasn't the case.
I'm not saying that
I'm
you're saying.
I'm actually the one that just explained to you how that took place.
I
But
understand that.
you're trying to say that like the game was an ass whooping, or that the Chiefs didn't have a chance.
No, I think you're bunching me up to
That's what it sounds like you're saying.
Sure. And I apologize if that seems like the narrative, especially because you've been apparently tortured by the people on Twitter. What I'm saying is that for those first two quarters out of that 4-quarter game, Bill out-scripted him. And that's the crazy shit that Bill did, because there's no way that Chiefs team, personnel by personnel, wasn't better than the Patriots team. The Chiefs were way better. And Homeboy shut it down. Homeboy was like, check this out. Fuck you, Tom Brady. My defense were bums, in my opinion, because I don't even know how he does it. I like 04, 06, 08 New England Patriots defense. That late 20 plus.
The defense that won the Super Bowl was a top 5 defense, dude.
Yeah, but against what? Against the Miami Dolphins? Against the fucking Jets? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Against the Bills?
Against the statistics of the best of the rest of the league.
That's not accurate.
They're a top 5 defense.
That's not accurate. That's not accurate, because they're the best. Think about this. They played the season before Brady left. If not, yeah, they played the season before Brady left. They had the most pattiest fucking schedule, and they ended up being the number 1 defense in the league. Bro, if you go 2-0 on the Jets, that's guaranteed. 2-0 on Bills before Josh Allen, guaranteed. And maybe you split Miami. Bro, you do that shit for 10 years, you crushing. Like, I don't.
You can't say a defense that wins the Super Bowl on a team that scores like 12 points in the Super Bowl and is a top 5 defense. You can't say they're bum.
I'm not saying they're
Some people would say that's one of the all-time great defenses.
Fuck that.
That word came out of your mouth.
That is, wow.
That word came out of your mouth. You said the defense sucked.
No, I get that.
Roll the tape.
No, I got that. It did suck. I thought you were gonna say that. I thought that was the greatest defense of all time. I was gonna choke, bro. They played a Sean McVay team that was obviously not ready for the pros. They also played, because you're a fucking lover of the Niners, they also played a Shanahan team in Atlanta that wasn't ready either. Like, Billy just gets shit done. Now, granted, TB's on a new team.
See, that's crazy to me. How can you say a team that has a 24-3 lead in the game isn't ready to play?
Because I'm going to tell you how. You never let your foot off the gas. And I've seen too many. You just told me.
They were ready to play.
No, they were not. They were not. You know why? Because when they were up 24, they mailed it in. We good. We got this. You fucked up right there. You already lost.
But when you say you're not ready to play, that means you were asleep at the wheel in the first half. You might say the Chiefs weren't ready to play.
Exactly.
On that game, even though that would be,
bringing it back to that, they weren't ready to play.
Even though that would be though that would be totally inaccurate.
They needed some fucking pep talks in the fucking halftime to be like, yo, bro, you are way better than this. What the fuck are you doing? They weren't ready to play. They weren't ready to play. They had to get the wake up call.
That's not the case. That is not the case. They only got 2 possessions on offense in the first half.
That's because Bill Belichick scripted it up.
That doesn't mean your offense is out of sync. Sometimes it takes you to your third drive to get the offense moving.
Man, you're going to make me watch a lot of fucking tape this weekend, you son of a bitch. Because I'm just
dude, do you know how many times I've watched that game?
Which one? The Patriots. The Patriots. Well, I think that. What was
The
that?
loss. The
No,
loss.
that was the AFC Championship, right?
The loss.
Yeah, that was the AFC
The
Championship.
AFC Championship loss.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how many times I've watched that fucking game?
Another 40 times.
At least 20.
Shit.
At least 20 times I've watched that fucking game. Okay? And I've heard, and the first half of that game is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen, and concurrently one of the most painful things that's ever happened to me.
So because you watched it, how did Bill Belichick keep you guys to 2 possessions and 2 quarters?
I told you, because they just kept the ball. There were 2 drives. Each one was like 13 minutes. And they would gain about 3.5 yards per play. It would be 3rd and 2, and they would convert. And every 3rd and 2 was a little pass to the running back, which the Chiefs hadn't been. That was the dirty secret of that defense, which was if you threw to the running back, he was going to catch the ball and run for 12 yards every time. And Bill watched all the film, and all they did the entire first half was throw to the running backs and run the football. And it was two drives. The Chiefs got the ball back. They went 3 and out and punted. Brady and them got the ball back. 15 plays again. They punt to the Chiefs. The Chiefs get 1 first down and punt. And then Brady and them hold the ball the entire rest of the thing. I think they kick a field goal. And then the Chiefs get the ball back with like 40 seconds. And that's the first half. So, no, Patrick Mahomes didn't have a shitty first half. I think he was like 2 for 5. Because they only touched the ball legitimately 3 times. The first one was a 3 and out because they 3 and out on every playoff start. They got a couple first downs the second time. And then it's halftime.
Listen, nobody's taking away
and they're down 17
Patrick's like fucking like you like to call him Jedi Master when it counts situation. You know, I'm not all I'm saying is that there's a little bit of scheming to certain things, and through scheming, which there's only one guy that I've ever seen scheme everybody out the building is Bill Belichick. Win, lose, or draw that game showed to me, I was like, damn, this dude, it don't matter who the fuck plays for this guy. It doesn't matter that Tom Brady plays for his team. It doesn't matter that he doesn't have the best corner or does have the best corner. Like, everybody will be where they need to be when the play is played. And because I know that, I will dominate most of the time of this game. Like, it's weird, and I really want to get off the NFL because I want to fuck with you on some other shit, but it's weird how much Bill Belichick understands X's and O's to the point where he could take time out of the game. We're sure the final was 38-35, but I took those 2 quarters away from you. And you could have dominated me in those 2 quarters.
I thought it was 41-38.
Whatever the point was, I don't give a fuck. I'm just
No,
explaining.
it couldn't have been 41. It couldn't have been 41-38.
What I'm saying is that if Bill Belichick wouldn't have taken away those 2 quarters, they would have beat them. That's what I'm getting at. Right? Like we could fucking
right. But like I just see. But that's why I always look at you fucking cockeyed when you tell me that Brady is the reason they won in Boston more than Belichick.
Whoa.
That makes my fucking head spin backwards.
I think so. This is another thing, and we'll get into this a little bit. My new thing that nobody's talking about, especially the Skip Baylesses of the world, and your favorite guy who
and because it's new,
right? Of course. But how bad does Belichick regret moving off of Brady? Because Belichick could scheme anything. Like, think
How
about
bad does
this.
he? No,
Yes.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what Belichick regrets. Belichick regrets trading Jimmy Garoppolo before he got rid of getting rid of Jimmy Garoppolo. That's what he's mad about. That's what he's pissed about. If he could go back and tell Kraft to go fuck himself.
And I'm telling
could
you,
walk, he'll go with
you,
Jimmy.
that sounds crazy. Because Jimmy G has won jack shit, and Tom Brady just keeps winning.
Yeah, I know.
Right? Isn't that weird?
I know.
So
I know. But I think if Belichick has a regret, it's that. Because that's the only thing he and Bill Kraft didn't see eye to eye on.
I tell you this,
that became kind of a wedge.
Looking at things future forward, or saying like, I've had a chance to reflect. A huge reason because of the New England offense was of Brady. Brady is like the quintessential game manager that just doesn't make bad plays. And granted, let's say he would have moved off of Brady and would have went with Garoppolo, Brady would have still won. Maybe not Super Bowls, but he would have still been consistent in winning, because Brady understands kind of that Bill Parcells, Bill Belichick kind of thinking, where we're only down a score, we're only behind a score, we're only up
situational football.
Yes,
right.
Like it's not
situational football.
We're not broken. We're not ahead and we're not behind. Just don't fuck it up.
Yeah, that's how they won early in that. That's how they won in New England early with those Neon Branch teams. They didn't have stars. They played situational football and good defense. On offense, you were wondering where it was coming from, because they didn't have a run game and they didn't have a legit passing attack. It was odd, until Corey Dillon came to town. They didn't have a legit running game. But when Corey Dillon came to town, you knew they were going to repeat the Super Bowl if you were paying attention. That was the year that my cousin and I started making the moral for the Super Bowl. Every year, the Super Bowl has a lesson to teach you about football. There's a moral to the story, right? That year when Corey Dillon came to Boston, the moral to that story was, if you win the Super Bowl with no running game, and then you go out and get a number one running back, you're going to repeat as Super Bowl champion. That was the first moral to the Super Bowl.
So funny, putting like a cherry on this NFL discussion, I think what Corey Dillon did as a New England Patriot was almost like the passing of the guard, where Belichick truly understood time management, which blows my mind on how many coaches get that shit wrong. And when he understood,
they really do.
They get it so bad. Just watching this.
Yeah, that was one of Andy Reid's worst things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really easy when you think about it.
Mm-hmm. It really
Especially
is.
if you're a football coach, you should be used to it by now.
Like, where the fuck are we at?
Games have ended for you hundreds of times. Yeah, you should have a hold of this by now.
Yes. Yeah, like, the one thing you need to know as a coach,
nigga.
Yes, is time management. Like, we need to bleed the clock out. But what I'm saying with Corey Dillon,
that's why
most important. The greatest thing, first of all, if you ever need a lawyer, call the Ben Jarvis Green Ellis law firm. But one of the things that I've always enjoyed was clock killing Corey
I've got him on
Dillon.
retainer.
Okay? Yes, I'm glad you have him on retainer. But clock killing Corey Dillon was another very weird statement that I got and I understood. And Bill knew that. He said, check this out. I'm up by 3. I'm just going to run the rock. I'm up by 10. I'm going to run the rock. And Corey did that for them. Yep. And it was weird because the Patriots have just been through so many different offenses, from 2 tight ends to just running backs to 3 wides to spread, to
Yep.
motion.
That's the best thing to do with Madden is look at all the different playbooks.
Bro.
Because it's all the same guy's playbook. It's all Belichick's playbook. But you'll go through that. And their first year, it's all near formation, far formation, 2 backs. There's maybe 8 shotgun throws. And then you fucking move that same Belichick offense forward to like 2008, and everything's 5 wide. There's, they're in 21 personnel. There's 3 wide, tight end, running back. Every single play with Welker, Moss. And then it went to the 2 tight end when he's got Gronk and the murdering guy.
Hernandez.
And
yes.
It's just so impressive.
That's what I'm
but
saying.
I wanted to tell one more.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just another moral to the Super Bowl. The Patriots' moral to the Super Bowl was, it ain't over till it's over. That was when they played the Falcons. That was the moral to that Super Bowl. Every year, literally,
I don't know if it was the Falcons game. I think that was always their fucking thing. Because you couldn't count them out. You just couldn't. Like, it didn't matter. I think that might have been something that was even put together early on during the Peyton Manning seasons and years, because just Peyton couldn't. It didn't matter. Like I said, fucking Pats would show up 10-5, smoke the whole entire AFC. Smoke them. You got teams that were fucking resting guys like week 13. And here they are in the fight. They're losing in Miami.
Yeah.
They're fucking up. Everybody's like writing them off. Playoff time. Sorry, bro.
Yeah.
We got
they always lose to Miami in Miami.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You gotta know. Like, they lose to Miami every year. They lose to Buffalo every now and then. Like, that's just how it is in that division.
No, I couldn't agree more. So I want to get back on some other shit. So tell me.
Okay.
You got a new administration.
Some other shit.
You got a new administration.
Don't we?
Yeah. How are you feeling about this new administration? Are you excited?
Well, I don't know. Do you want to hear them about them individually, personally, or should we take this one at a time, or I don't know.
Well, if I had to ask, with a little bit that I know, I think I would ask this: how good do you feel when we have a Democratic president, vice president, Senate, and House majority leaders?
Oh yeah, right. Wow, you just.
Yeah, I switched lanes, Daddy. I know. I'm not like just a pretty girl here. You know what I mean? I be reading shit.
You just tried to make me angry.
Oh, a little bit. I gotta get you pissed off.
Tried to make me angry.
Yeah, come on, bro. I got a fucking. I got $100 mic I'm talking into.
Let's start with the Capitol attack.
Ooh, that's good. I like that tape being rewound back a little bit. Yeah. Let's go with that.
That hasn't been addressed yet, and I just want to speak on that a little bit.
I would like for you to, please.
Because if the more you get to know me, the more these things will kind of show themselves. But I watch a lot of. I'm not a big fan of police in general, but I'm more a fan of a police detective than I am of like a stormtrooper. Like the police with badges, when they show up to your house or anytime they show up, don't think you're smarter than them. Don't think you can talk your way out of shit with the cops with the badges. When those motherfuckers show up, tell them you want to speak to your attorney and that you don't feel comfortable without your attorney present. because those guys have a knack of, in casual conversation, getting you to admit to life in prison. The reason I know this is because of probably my favorite show ever, which is The First 48. And there's this little thing that I learned on The First 48. Well, there's a couple of things I learned on The First 48. The first thing I'm going to tell you I learned on The First 48 is that your friends will fucking rat on you in 2 seconds.
That is a fact, ladies and gentlemen. That's so easy.
Believe that. Unless you got to speak to your friends and be like, hey, if we ever get busted for something, we all need to just ask for our attorney. Don't say anything. And I mean, don't even say you were there. Don't even say, just ask for your fucking attorney, because your friends will rat on you quick. Especially when those niggas, after the cops lie to them a little bit and tell them that you've already ratted on them. But I don't want to get too far off base. The thing I learned is there are so many times where the cops will bring somebody in for questioning that they knew was in the car. Okay, and let's just say this is a hypothetical with you and I. Okay, you and me and one other guy. You and your cousin are going to pick up a bag of weed, right? Because we like to smoke weed, and weed is illegal in our state. So we're going on over to Billy's house to buy a bag of weed. Me and you are in the car. We give $30 to your cousin. Your cousin goes in, shoots and kills 2 people, comes back in the car, and you guys all drive home. Okay? According to law in this country, unless you immediately go home and call the police to tell on your friend who has shot and killed somebody, you are now also guilty of first-degree murder. The reason being is you went somewhere with someone and you guys had the intention of committing a crime, buying illegal marijuana. Therefore, you are responsible for the crimes of any crimes that any of you commit while you are going to break this law. Are you following me? Like, because when I got in that car, I knew we were going to do something illegal, and then I was with him when he shot somebody, and then he gets back in the car, and I don't call the cops immediately and rat on him, I'm going to jail for life as well. And I have watched so many young people go in talking to the police thinking that they're like, well, I didn't shoot anybody. I'm going to be just fine. Right? No, you didn't shoot anybody. And you really didn't do anything wrong in most people's opinions. But according to the law, you knew you were going to do something illegal when you got there. And because of that, well, now you murdered him too. So you're going to prison for life as well. So the people at the Capitol riots that went to the Capitol with the intention of breaking the law. Now, granted, that law may have been trespassing, which is a little bullshit law, whatever. But the crime of that murdered police officer took place. And because you went to the Capitol with the intention of breaking the law, which is trespassing, and someone you were with, the big mob, murdered a police officer, well, guess what? Every single one of you is now an accessory to murder. Now, I know you might say, oh, Brandon, that's bullshit. Oh, you're just a liberal trying to send people to prison. No, dude, I've seen it 100 times.
No, and so I'm with you, bro. I'm actually more invested in the situation. Why? I mean, I know he's impeached, but I feel like criminal charges should have been brought against him.
I'm really upset that the police didn't kill a bunch of people, and I know that sounds terrible. But if you made me a police officer and you're like, you're responsible for protecting these senators, and then there was a mob of people coming to break into the Capitol, I would have shot at them.
But you know what? My co-host brought up to me that was very interesting. they let them in. They opened the gates.
Yeah, I know.
So
I know.
when he said that to me, I had to sit down for a second and really think about this. And when
You didn't even believe him at first, did you? When he said they let him in.
yeah, no, I was already like, what the fuck? Because so it was weird. I was having a phenomenal day, right? The market was crushing.
Yep.
And while the market was crushing, literally, we were having an uproar as a people, potentially.
Yes.
The only reason why it wasn't considered an uproar because it was a bunch of white motherfuckers. If it would have been a colored group, they would have been like, "Oh shit, we're really going ham. It's over." The market would have probably went upside down, but because it was some white boys losing their shit, Wall Street was like, "We're good." Double everything, double Amazon, double Big Macs, double fucking Walmart, Kmart, all these motherfuckers.
Just think about the visuals of four black guys standing on the thing, putting up black power fists in black gloves.
I'm telling you, man, and I need you, and we'll do a couple things for a couple people, but there's some shows that I need you to catch up on immediately so that you can argue this to me. I just told you to watch Watchmen, and you did, and I'm glad that you was able to put that into your belt. I need you to watch the Watchmen series that really puts.
Yeah, I'm on episode 1 of the Watchmen series. Cool. I happen to really hate the lead actress, but whatever.
Yeah, don't worry about Regina Hill. She's actually phenomenal. Don't worry about it. She'll grow on you.
I know.
What I was gonna say was
she's finally not playing the bitchiest woman ever.
No, she still
and
is.
I think that was the problem.
No, she still is. She still is.
She's a badass now.
Right.
She's a badass now.
Well, they figured it out. They figured it out because what is it? Tahaji.
I'm not sure.
Some actress, like right now, if you're not black and kicking motherfuckers in the dick, you ain't shit as a woman. Okay. So everything, like for example, they just releasing The Equalizer. Do you know this movie? Hello?
No, I'm not familiar with it.
Okay, well, it's about a badass motherfucker who's like a military dude and kicks ass and takes names, played by Denzel Washington. But now they decided to put it to TV and Queen Latifah's the lead. But that's not what I'm getting at. Okay. What I wanted to follow down this rabbit hole of shows and films was the Chicago 7. And this is another thing that you need to watch if you have not watched it or have not been familiar with it. But again, it's very similar.
I'm familiar with what went down.
Right.
Yeah,
it's
I'm familiar with
but a lot of people aren't, right? And so when I watched this and I seen how just by you inciting a riot, you're in trouble. You don't literally have to touch anybody. You don't have to do anything. But if you say, let's go fuck them up, you're just as guilty as homeboy in the building. Now, I believe that through this, it wasn't Nixon role, but it was Nixon something that was a fight against Nixon that allowed protesters to be more protesty. And what I mean by that is that if you yell on a mic some shit, you're not like 100% attached to it. But in that same vein, right, with the Chicago 7, one of the Chicago 7 was a Black Panther. The other bunch of 7s were like, they were Jewish. And I'm not going to take shots at Jewish, but bunch of minorities, right? Like people that weren't trying to play the victim, but also trying to play the victor at the same token. And these people did jail time. And now you have a guy who's supposed to be the leader of the world inside a riot, and there's nothing. Like, it pisses me off a little bit that he's probably gonna beat the impeachment shit.
Sure.
Right?
I'm not sure. Now, I'm not sure how much his words were specifically what put the shit over, because this was an event that had been organized. And I mean, believe me, and you know, I'm no defender of Trump, you know, but, and I don't like, the tone of that rally or the ideas.
Listen, it's white
but
boys
I'm
with fucking guns. That's a dangerous idea if I ever fucking heard one.
I'm just not necessarily sure that
a lot of people are not like in line with Homeboy's theories and policies.
I don't want to give him too. I mean, I think he bears some responsibility, but I don't think he bears the vast majority of the responsibility.
But I wanted you to bubble it up a little bit. The correlation that I was trying to make was, okay, if you could say shit is popping. In the 60s, 7 motherfuckers said some shit. They got into a lot of trouble.
Yep. And they ended up in prison. Yeah.
Right. They let motherfuckers in. So how was this not a total meltdown of all policies? Because basically,
and also, like,
go ahead, tell me.
Who the fuck this? Like, why would you let them in?
Because they wanted that. Because they wanted that.
And it was just, it's so weird to me that the people on the right immediately were like, well, this whole thing was a conspiracy from the left. And it was Antifa. It was Antifa with the Camp Auschwitz
but you know
shirt.
But the thing is this, bro, whether it's Antifa or QAnon, I think what the people are trying to say is that there's some strings being pulled and it's not from the bottom.
Yes, there are definitely strings being pulled.
Right? They just don't know how to fucking say it. Right? Because they see what the fucking media gives them. Oh, it's Antifa. It's fucking QAnon.
And they can't imagine that people that hold similar beliefs to them could be violent fucking assholes.
Right. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Homeboy shows up to a rally that's peaceful, looking like he's gonna invade Iraq. Like, yo,
like, I don't
my man, that. You do not need night vision goggles to go to a rally.
Thank you. Yes, this is what we need at the rally. We need megaphones.
Yeah,
we need signs, and we need bottles of water.
Mm-hmm.
These are the things we need for a protest.
And we might need some milk. We might need some milk because we know that fucking tear gas hurts. You got to put milk in your eyes.
We need some catchy slogans to sing while we're in the street protesting.
Like, just unbelievable.
These are the things we need. We don't need a fucking machine gun.
No.
You shouldn't bring a gun to a protest.
No, bro, that escalates violence. No. Like, what are you doing? Go ahead.
This is a quick story from my younger days. So, you know, my younger days, me and
when you was
my
cool.
family, we were, you know, not such law-abiding citizens that we are now. And we were having a party at a vacant house that I had gotten a hold of. And we had a house party there, and we charged the Mike Tyson fight when he was fighting. It was like one of his first fights back.
When he was fighting Finks? So what?
No, he was fighting some white chump. Some like old Kelly or old Gallagher. It was like a comeback fight.
Fucking Irish love getting their face bashed in back in the day.
Yeah, some dark-haired guy. And he was going to whoop his ass anyway. But we had a gun at the time. We had a little .22 semi-automatic pistol. And that night before the party started, my cousin and I decided that one of us would hold the gun and the other would hold the ammunition. Right? So basically,
this party already sounds so dangerous. So dangerous.
Oh, it was so dope, though, nigga. It was so dope. We had a keg, and right? Yeah, you know, it's a party, and I'm like fucking 19. And, you know, I invited all my friends from the shitty part of town and all my friends from the nice part of town. So when Jamil decides to punch someone in the face,
hey, by the way, not to, I love when Jamil hits people, but you know what I thought about? Not to interrupt your story, I need a 3-way convo between you and Jamil. So you need to put the airwaves out to my guy Jamil. We never met, but I know we'll get along real quick on the airwaves.
Okay, I'll get him on there.
Yeah, tell him that your boy wants to get him on that fucking show. But go ahead, tell me. So Jamil's punching motherfuckers in the face. You hiding the crack. So, what you doing?
The brawl fucking breaks out, and people are getting punched, and fights are breaking out, and then shit dies down a little bit. The fights break down, and the one thing that I thought was like, God damn, wasn't it a fucking good idea to make sure that neither of us could make the decision on our own to pull that fucking thing out and start poking at people? Because when people were fighting and it was like a brawl, there were like 12 or 15 people fighting in a 20 by 20 thing. I would have felt way more comfortable if I had both ends of that weapon. But I think the fact that I only had half of it might have saved my future and Jamil's future at that time,
Bro, because I think we talk about it crazy, dude. Like bringing it full spectrum, and I think this is where you're going. We have no idea, and I say it again, we have no idea how powerful 1 + 1 is. Because if you had that gat fully loaded, you might have made different decisions. So might have Jamil. If Jamil had the shit, like, bro, I told you, your boy has been fucking around with the weapon thing. And I have come to the understanding that I almost want to worship it. And not because I think it's greater than me, but more as a blessing. Like, God forbid, please, anybody ever use this.
Thank you.
Like, don't ever...
Because after firing my gun, I thought, Jesus Christ, the thing you would have to do for me to actually shoot you.
It would suck so bad, bro. And I think that Hollywood, and I don't know why they're doing this. The only reason I could think why they're doing this is that they're complicit with the government, and the government is actually controlling Hollywood, that they make it seem so easy.
To a point.
No. They are complicit 100%, my friend. Yeah. Because there's no way that we do fucking Transformers. Nah, but listen, I think, and we're gonna make it seem hold on. And I want to pull this argument up with you because I know that you feel this way. And I want to hash it out with you real quick. My friend, I play fucking Call of Duty all the goddamn time, okay? When I play Call of Duty and I'm getting shot in the face, I'm like, fuck, I'm getting shot in the face. I can't kill this guy for nothing in my life. Like, I keep dying. Like, Call of Duty actually makes me realize, like, yo, bro, you think you were cool? You got shot in the first 20 seconds of this game. And then in the next 20 seconds, you got shot again. In a movie, that's why I said it's different. That's why I think they're complicit. In a movie, Arnold Schwarzenegger never dies. Fucking Bruce Willis is fucking every time in the goddamn fucking elevator shaft. Mel Gibson fucks up everybody. Like, so.
Wait, don't forget. He gets hit in the arm and fires a gun with that hand.
Right. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, that's what I'm saying. So, like, at least in Call of Duty, I know you don't like it, but it's real. Like, I can't aim at the guy because the gun is bouncing so much because I'm shooting it all the time. Like, I gotta, like, place it. In a movie, you're like, oh, shit, that 119 soaking wet girl just shot that 195-pound guy and the gun didn't bounce once. I guess I could do that, too. In Call of Duty, bro, you know right out the gate that you suck mad dick. Like, you will literally get demolished.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's like, oops, I'm dead.
Yeah, and then I'm dead again. And then I'm dead again. And then I'm dead again. And then I'm dead again.
Oh, I'm dead. Yep.
In the movie, they never die.
It's fun.
And that's why I want to, like, maybe through this show right now, bring you to Jesus Call of Duty truly isn't the problem. If anything, Call of Duty kind of makes.
No, I'm not blaming it.
No,
I just think that people. No, I would never say that. I think Call of Duty is catharsis for people.
No. It for
I
sure
think it's
is
good for them to kill people online.
I agree with that. And what I'm saying more so is that I don't think that the trend of our society is being lost through us playing games. I think our society is being lost through the media that's being fed to us, that's making us believe that we're bulletproof. That, oh shit, you take a shot in the arm? No problem. You just go to the doctor. You're okay. No, motherfucker. When you get shot, you're done. Like, there's no.
Did you see the picture of that woman get shot at the Capitol?
Nah.
Did you see how she reacted?
It was weird.
Did you see that video?
Nah, I know you were telling me that Twitter was going ham. Again, I had a great day in the market that day. So I just kept refreshing my TD Ameritrade feed.
Right.
But I know some people suffered. Now, think about this, right? Because we're going back and you're trying to pull me back. And I don't know if you're doing it by accident or on purpose. But.
No, we're going. Yeah, I'm getting back there.
Yeah. But let's say it was a total of 5 people that were. I was going to say astonish, but that's not a word. But extinguish was the word that I was thinking of. 5 people. Imagine if 5,000 people showed up and 5 people died. Is that less than 1%?
Yes.
Okay, cool. If some BLM motherfuckers showed up to that motherfucker, I think that the numbers would have been a little bit higher. That's just me. But I'm also saying that there's a bit of compliancy, just like I'm saying fucking the government, Hollywood, all these motherfuckers intertwined. How did you let those motherfuckers in? You just opened the gates like that?
Well,
that means that an order came from above.
Right.
That said,
to finish my little story about the party
about you and with the gun and not the gun.
You don't need to carry a fucking gun with you.
Bro, come on. Bro, you're actually getting more creative than me, because I wouldn't even think of a bullhorn or signs. I'm like, listen, we're all just gonna yell and march in the same direction, and we got this. Like, I'm poor. A bullhorn, I'm like, I don't even know who could afford a bullhorn. I'm like, do you know who has a bullhorn? I don't even know who has a blowhorn.
We need some chants, like we're here, we're queer, get used to it. Like, we need some shit like that.
Yeah, right. We're just gonna start yelling shit, and then we're gonna it's almost like you're going to a baseball game when you can't afford the baseball game, but you're in the upper rafters and you're in the outfield, and you keep yelling at the right fielder. You keep yo, Mel, you the man, Mel, and you wait like 8 innings for him to tip your cap to you. Yeah, same kind of shit. Okay, you know how long a baseball game is? Baseball game lasts for hours. Like, what is wrong with you fucking people?
This is what you bring to a protest. You don't need tactical gear.
No,
you certainly don't need a fucking gun,
bro. Can I tell you something? And we're gonna dive into it in a second, because I'm watching our numbers, because I really want to talk to you about this, because I find it fascinating. How in the fuck, besides all the things Homeboy did or did not do cool, he made a militia, and then they called them the Proud Boys, right? And
I know that dickhead.
Like, to me, I felt in early on in the debates, whether I'm saying it right or wrong, when the narrator teed up to Trump, what would you say to the Proud Boys? I'm like, why would you tell him that? And then he goes and says, I would tell them to stand by. I would have melted down that whole entire argument. Like, I would have pulled a plug and be like, you know what, sorry. You know how we go, beep. You're literally talking to a militia, bro. What do you tell them, stand by? They're not even, what? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you, bro?
I saw the creator of the Proud Boys on Joe Rogan.
Oh, he was on Rogan? Oh, I gotta hear this. When was this? Was it a recent episode? Because now you got me intrigued.
Oh, come on. I don't know how recent it was. I think maybe 2 years ago.
I stopped listening to Rogan, to be honest with you.
Yeah, maybe 2 years ago.
So he was on? So Proud Boys they've been a thing for a minute. You gotta educate me.
The guy that started Vice News started the Proud Boys, and he came on Joe Rogan's show.
Well, he's
and he
talking
said,
shit.
I started this gang. It's called the Proud Boys.
That's verbatim?
Yes, and then he says, but no, this is the best part. And he says, now we might look nice because, they wear shirts and ties and shit. And he said, but we'll fucking kill you.
Wow. What's Joe
And when
Rogan doing?
he said,
what the fuck is happening here?
When
did
he
this
said,
happen?
we'll fucking kill you. Oh, like I said, dude, this is about 2 years ago.
Wow.
And then there's other clips of him on the same thing talking about his gang, talking about, how they're willing to kill people.
That's the same dude that just got yoked up by the FBI, right? That dude.
If you have a gang and you say we're willing to kill people, that immediately makes you a terrorist organization.
Facts.
I hate to say this.
Cousin, I just told you I would have shut down the whole entire network. Listen, this is my guy because he's my guy, and I'll put the shout out there for him. I love you, Joe. You showed me how to do the thing. But if you put a motherfucker like this on the line, bro, I'm shutting the whole show down. Like, if I was having a conversation, I'm like an up-and-coming guy. And let's say I landed this dude for shock value. The moment homeboy started saying shit like that, I'm like, we're done. We're done.
Yeah, he's like, I got a gang and we kill motherfuckers.
Yeah, I'm like, it's over. Fuck you, bro. Get this motherfucker out of here.
Some kind of fucking, are you like a cult leader or some shit?
I don't even know what.
Out of here.
Bro, kill people. What the, bro, you know me, I just told you, we talked about it. I think, so funny, you're more like pussy-footed than me, but I'm way more sensitive than you. Some motherfuckers yelling about killing motherfuckers, I'm like, it's over. We're done. I don't want to talk to you no more, bro. Like, I had a hard time killing a fucking coyote. Here you are talking about you killing motherfuckers. You're done, son.
Human beings.
Yeah.
You're going to kill people?
I'm not giving you no airtime.
Fucking gun.
Yeah,
I can't even point this fucking gun at a deer because I'm like, wow, that thing's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's
Holy
beautiful.
Shit, I've never seen one of those. I've never seen one of those close up.
Right, so gorgeous.
Let me see how close I can get to it. Yeah, and then your friend blows his head into 1,000 pieces.
Right, and then homeboy over here is like, no, what? I don't just kill coyotes. I kill humans too. Okay, you're done. You're fucking done.
Right, and I kill humans for no good reason.
Right. With no, this is the shit. Right, me
country.
too, bro.
You would think that niggas kept white people as slaves, and they're mad. You would think that that's what happened.
Right? No, but it's so complex because there's so many bullshit agendas that are being ran simultaneously that are confusing everybody because no one knows what the fuck is going on no more. Like they didn't know before.
You're right.
They have no clue now. No clue.
Yep. And now everything is confused.
Yes. You got 17 different outlets telling you 17 different narratives.
17 different things.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And they're all supposed to be legit news.
Right. And meanwhile, back at the ranch, I got barely a high school fucking diploma, and I got to fucking like break the mercury center of all of this shit. Sorry, not happening. But I'm telling you, if what you're saying is true, no shots to Rogan, no shots to Homeboy. But how can you let some shit like that go live? And you publish that? I'm like, motherfucker, thank you for the conversation. We're good. You could go. You can leave right now. I don't give a fuck what the fuck happened.
I didn't know you were interested in killing American citizens.
Right. Like, what the fuck? You just said you were going to kill my brother. Because to me, every person is my brother based on the fact that they have blood, bones, and skin. So, fuck you. You want to kill my brothers? Okay. Okay, bro. I don't like you. I don't like you, straight up.
That's the same thing. It's like, dude, you don't have to kill them. They can go live on the other side of the town, and you don't ever have to see them.
But that's
right?
crazy.
They don't have to die.
But that's crazy.
You guys just don't hang out.
And so look at this. This is what makes me more nervous about that Hollywood story I was just telling you. That the narrative is being pushed a certain way. And as the people with 17 narratives, how the fuck are you supposed to adjust between Trump supporters and QAnon and motherfucking Proud Boys? Bro, there's so much shit that hits you in the fucking news. You're like, I don't care. I'm just going to follow my social media shit. on Instagram.
Right.
And the Kardashians
Yeah, it almost makes you want to
are
just
like a fat
get into
ass.
your own.
And then check this out. This LG TV I was watching is actually on sale. like, you know what I mean? Like, when you really, like, no one really gives a fuck. But yet, they pull all this shit. And, like, it's crazy, bruh. It's crazy, dude. Like, even...
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Back to the, this all started at the Capitol riot thing.
Right. Yes. Proud Boys.
that's-
Proud Boys. They're so proud.
Yeah, and I'm just, I'm watching this, and again, I'm no huge supporter of the police, but, I understand why they need to be there. And when I'm watching that officer being crushed by the people trying to force their way in, and I'm watching him scream in pain, like you said, even though he's a cop, that's a human being.
But you know what? This is the thing that I was talking about. Listen, bro, but this is the thing, and again, no, I hope nobody listens. The best thing about my podcast is nobody listens, because I say shit that makes motherfuckers cringe. This is the same reason why I think that George Floyd shit was bullshit. How many motherfucking people were getting dealt like this? And I'm not saying that his actual situation wasn't bullshit. What I'm saying is that the way the media turns it, that's what they want you to watch. So it's the same thing.
Yeah, because that's pretty much, there's a lot of, that's standard operating procedure, if y'all don't know.
Right. So going the other way, all the stuff you're saying, they just create an element that they want you to watch. All this other shit is going down.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying is they've been doing niggas like that forever.
Bro, you know what I told my friend? Oh, excuse me, my co-host? I said, have we been living in a communist country the whole time we just didn't know it? Because your rights, well, that's, it depends. And this other shit, well, it depends. And now, I'm not trying to talk crazy shit, but I'm just saying, like, they let them in. So if they let them in, that means there's somebody at the top okey-doed that shit, right? And then meanwhile, back at the ranch, they had zip ties. They had plans. No one was caught. No one was caught with weapons. But okay, that could have been a quick thing. Could have been a Jamil and motherfucking, Uncle Salty shit. They slide that shit on the motherfucking carpet. You know what I mean? But then you telling me nothing happened. So you told me nothing happened because it was white boys. But if it would have been something else, like minorities pissed off because we don't got no jobs and we ain't got no fucking shit to do or no money to get. Yeah, like they would have fucking nuked the building. I'm like, nah, that shit don't make no sense. Meanwhile, homeboy or homegirl was able to penetrate the Capitol, meaning we're in the building. Again, they let them go through. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't understand. I'll be honest with you. I don't really watch news like that, and this show is gonna go on. I could give a flying fuck. I don't know how much I'm gonna be paying a close attention to that impeachment. But homeboy, like I said, the only reason why I'm not paying attention to it is because he's gonna skate. He's gonna skate. He's got
again.
Yes, and you know what I told you? What I told you before, and just to put it on wax, he has the law firm of Ben Jarvis Green Ellis, and it's just.
You know what he's really proving is what I always say: laws are for poor people and minorities.
Right.
That's who the law is for,
bro. And he's gonna personify that in no way more than we ever seen. Did I tell you my new, and I gotta say, conspiracy theory? I think the Clintons didn't kill Epstein. I think Trump killed Epstein.
Well, I think that there's a lot of kid fucking going on, and I think it's on both. I think there are disgusting fucking child raping perverts equally spread throughout the left and the right. And I think that anyone that chooses to destroy someone's life to satisfy their twisted sexual desires belongs in prison. If you do so with a child. You know? It's just that simple. Or if you facilitate that in any way. And I don't think Epstein is dead.
Fuck no, bro. There's no way homeboy's dead. I'm telling you, bro.
I don't think he's dead.
No, sir.
I think that he knew too much to be dead.
Right. He's way too valuable. But then again, right?
Yeah. And
like, think about this. The fucking feds just released massive documents about UFOs. Massive.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, bro. Oh, yeah. It was like one of Trump's last things to do. He made those.
Yeah, he said that they have to release all the evidence that they have. Did they do that?
Them, yes, all of it.
Have you seen any of it?
So I just touched the porch of it, and this is what I want.
I'd really like to look into that. Actually, I might do that tomorrow.
There is a lobbyist, and I hate to call him a lobbyist, but there is a guy who's been like advocating hardcore about some of the dirty down scoundrel things that this government's been doing for a minute, and he has a show on Netflix, and a big portion of his fucking bullshit, it was like there's aliens and they're hiding it and blah 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 blah.
Nigga, like you remember your lovely wife told us.
Yeah, right. No, she knows
she
too.
works for the military.
Yes, yeah. We've seen them go up and down.
There's UFOs all the time. And you know, I always thought that. I always said, why are we gonna fly to Mars when we haven't even explored the fucking ocean yet?
The problem is because they see it
and
as.
Wouldn't that be a great test run?
Yes,
because the conditions of the underwater are so hostile,
right?
That it would be a good test run.
Yes, yeah, for a test run from a lot of out of orbit situations. But,
yeah, I really feel like human beings could live underwater.
But when I really looked at this and this was just a cuss, I said, "Fuck, they're lying about everything. They're lying about everything." So you're gonna tell me homeboy's gonna have a fair trial? Bullshit. Right, I just told you that
they are lying about it.
Right, I just told you that. No, they're not. It's gonna. You know what's gonna be? It's gonna be redacted and fucking whatever they like the words they like to use. You know, high profile, covert. I don't know. I'm not that smart in the motherfucking chain of shit. But you know how they do. Boom. That's the word. Classify. Right. If they fucking classified 40 years of fucking people coming here, what do you think they'll do with Trump? It's gonna be easy, right? And homeboy already has the fucking law firm known as Ben Jarvis Green Ellis representing him. Like he has Ben Jarvis Green and Ellis. Like he don't have one.
He's got all four of them.
Right, he got the squad. So if they were able to massively conspiracy. That's probably not a correct sentence, but if they were as a whole collective able to hide. Well, motherfuckers were like, yo, I got fucking abducted by aliens. And everybody was like, that motherfucker's crazy. And they made aliens look at this stupid thing that we just make jokes on. And the dude on the show talks about how the government uses like disinformation to fuck with people. So like if it's a good story, they'll blast the story, but they'll make it look like a joke. Like, oh shit, there's aliens, but homeboy was hanging out with Sasquatch and motherfucking Dracula. And then they'll be like, oh shit, it's not real. Right?
Okay, well, since no one listens to this, I'm going to say something profound. If you believe in God more than you believe in the existence of aliens, I question your intelligence. There, I said it.
Right. I mean, it's come on, bro. Where the fuck are you at? Where you at? But that's not the point. We're trying to. Let's go back to where we're at, and then we'll fucking like disperse later.
Yeah, let's not get.
No, it's great. It's great. It's good stuff. So this is what I'm saying. So a man inside a riot he potentially got impeached. We don't really know where that leads, right? But he's potentially risking all of the benefits that come with being a president after.
Yeah, it's a waste of time to impeach him.
Yeah.
When I found out they could censure him and he would lose all his benefits after being censored, that was fine for me.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So, like, look, that's good enough.
Yeah.
He ain't the shit. Just take it away from him.
Right.
Like, he never
Yeah,
was the
like,
president at all.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Yes.
you lose your security detail, you're just a
Yes.
fucking private citizen
Right.
anymore.
And
I don't
you
think
know what's the
I
crazy
think
thing that I heard? You don't fly for free, motherfucker, no more. You like being the president comes with tons of perks. So just strip that away.
Yeah,
and then-
lots of perks, nigga. $200K a year for
Right.
children.
Yes. 200K, the
Bunch of
best
speaking
security
engagement.
system you could ever imagine. You
Yep.
fly everywhere for free. Like, there's more
Mhm.
stuff that we don't even know about that like
Yeah.
come with the fucking, like, reconnaissance package of chilling out.
Yeah, there's a lot of goodness
Yeah.
from being president.
So I'm like, you just fuck with that. But to me, again, because of the Chicago 7 and now moving forward, I know things are different. But people went to jail for what you did as a joke, man. How cool is that? Like, where the fuck are you at, bro? Like, me, that's a total statement of you being out of touch. Because another motherfucker says some shit like that, and we
Prison.
yes,
No question. Like, long time.
bro. Think about this, and I want you to deliberate on this for a second. All the people that were within this net of whatever, going into the Capitol,
Right.
they can't fly now. They can't buy now. The one that fucks me
I
up the
know.
most, they can't social now. How did that become a thing? So that means now,
Yeah.
not only do you have the Patriot Act, which allows you to listen to all my shit, now you also have a new act that says I can't use social media. When was that?
Yeah.
When was that act? When was that act implemented? Because I missed that one.
They have called all of those people terrorists.
Yes.
And because they've called them terrorists, it's like you could lose your citizenship for that. So, the private companies,
And I want you to go
They,
further on
like-
this.
like
How
Twitter,
the fuck did
like-
your citizenship be like? What's the word? Congruent with social media.
well, like the fact that you lose your social media, what that is that companies knowing that you have been convicted of terrorism charges and not wanting to do business with you because it's bad for their business. That's why they're getting kicked off the internet and not able to use Twitter or any of that, because Twitter sees you as a criminal and a terrorist, and we don't offer terrorists to use our website. So that's how these people are losing all their platforms, is that these individual companies no longer want to be associated with them because they're a risk. If I have a guy like you, a terrorist on, like, that makes it unsafe for the rest of my customers, or at least that's kind of their argument. How you can lose your citizenship? Well, that's sedition. If you try to take over the government, that's some shit that can happen to you. If you think that having a revolution is cute, which is a big thing on the left, is they think revolution is cute and a funny thing to talk about. But revolution involves a bunch of people you love dying violently. That's
Okay.
what revolution is.
So let's backtrack a little bit, because I'm listening to all this shit, and it's literally blowing my mind. Right? This is what I want to tell you. I don't know if you heard it. So I think I've been fucking up my whole life. I should have been a singer or rapper. My voice is shit, but I should have figured it out. Because Donald Trump pardons Lil Wayne and Black Kodak.
No shit. No shit.
And then the Democrats have a party with Lady Gaga and Jennifer Lopez. Like,
right, and he didn't pardon fucking Assange.
That's what I was gonna say. You don't fucking you don't fucking I love Assange, but you don't go after my one guy. How did you not pardon the two dudes that should have been fucking pardoned from the fact that homeboy saw in Russia doing Joe Rogan calls from like I don't even know, he got the fucking satellite being pinged 90 different times because he's a hacker. Why didn't you let those dudes go?
Snowden. Yeah, you should have fucking pardoned Snowden too.
You should have pardoned Snowden and Assange.
Yeah.
Where we at, bro?
Yes, they both should have. Because they were like, hey, look, the government is fucking breaking the law. Yeah, and now they can't ever come home again.
And we didn't even get into this.
They were like,
this is what I was trying to fuck with you about. It's all Barry's fault. Barry.
Huh?
Barry, your boy Barry.
Whoa. Watch your fucking tongue.
You like that?
I don't know where you got that Barack Obama's my boy.
I'm fucking with you a little bit, but under his administration, whistleblowers got burnt.
Yes.
And now Trump has an opportunity to maybe say, well, you know what? If I'm going to piece it out, let me mic drop it dope. And you fucking pardon Lil Wayne and Black Kodak?
Yep.
Meanwhile, there was a guy.
You could have made Obama look bad.
Not only that,
you could have made Obama look bad.
Yes, not only
That's
that.
what your whole presidency was
do you
for.
know that there was a kid who committed a crime at 17, and maybe he was 40, death row. He went through it. Like, you're not gonna tell me homeboy might have like been different now, 20 years later, thinking about it.
Right.
Like you didn't pardon him. You didn't pardon two dudes that were just basically ratting on motherfuckers that were doing ratty shit. No.
Yes, but that were watching you and your girlfriend fucking jerk off to each other. The most private shit possible. Watching you fuck your wife whenever they want for a joke. But violating your privacy because they fucking can.
But you want to talk shit. That's what you want to do.
Like, I can't. I was really surprised that he didn't pardon either of those.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, when we start to like pull the layers back, homeboy incites a riot. Homeboy's going to be impeached for a second time. Homeboy went under the presidency like $400 million in debt. Like, his first impeachment was shady as fuck because now you're dealing with motherfuckers in Russia, and it's like the Cold War times 17. Apparently, we're not even knowing what the fuck is going on. I've been thinking Russia's been sleepy this whole time, but motherfuckers is acting like they're Jason Bourne, running around the streets, and again, nothing. So, like, what are we doing? What are we doing, government? What are we doing, guys? And then,
I don't know.
And then check it out. The saving grace is Sleepy Joe and Kamala Harris. Really?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's a saving grace for sure.
You guys are great. Whoever's in charge of this Disney Channel needs to be fired.
Let me tell you what I think of this fucking modern Democrat Party. Bunch of fucking, and this includes Barack Obama, a bunch of fucking spineless, capitulating cowards.
No, I couldn't agree with you more, bro.
A bunch of corporate, self-interested, rich fucking hacks. The Democratic Party used to be worth a damn. In the Clinton administration,
I feel like that was even a joke. I feel like that was even a joke. It went into the shitter. That guy was a fucking clown. I feel like that's where it went to the shitter. Yeah, that guy was a clown.
Yeah, that's where it went to the shitter. Yeah. After that, they were worthless. They've been fucking Republicans. All they've passed is fucking Republican legislation since that motherfucker's thing. Oh, let's pass fucking NAFTA and ship all the fucking all the good
jobs to other
all the good
countries.
factory jobs.
Yeah, but you know what though? I feel like the NAFTA shit gets blown out a little bit out of proportion because nobody wants to sew fucking like buttons on a fucking pair of pants.
Listen, dude. NAFTA fucked us because what it did was instead of the companies having to make their shit here and pay Americans to do it.
I get that, but I don't feel like this is the thing where people need to understand. If a pair of jeans was made in Indonesia, it could be for the people that own the business. Maybe they pay $10. They sell it over here for $50.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how much a pair of jeans in America would cost? A pair of jeans in America would be like fucking $200.
It's not the case.
Bro,
that's not how it works.
Bro,
Trust me, that's not how it works.
Levi is not even made here.
Stop. Were jeans $200 a pair before NAFTA?
I don't know because you had Tommy Hilfiger and all those motherfuckers.
They weren't.
I don't know.
No, they fucking weren't.
The high end shit was. The high end shit was totally was, bro. You just don't buy expensive jeans. Like how do I find myself fucking buying a pair of diesel jeans?
Nigga, they did not sell $200 jeans in 1993.
You're wrong.
I was
again.
a kid in high school.
Yeah,
I bought jeans.
Yeah,
they were $30.
Yeah, because they figured they had the system set up to facilitate that order.
What I'm saying is outsourcing them those jobs didn't help you, and they don't help the fucking price of things. Don't let these fucking rich people lie to you. They don't help the price.
I agree with you. I think that it's all inflated. Trust me, bro. I get excited when it's made in the US of A, but not much is made in the US of A anymore.
Yeah. The jeans weren't they tell you that. That's the same thing with the minimum wage for the
By the way, isn't that fucking ridiculous, right? We're fucking like 20 years and thank God we're in California, but other places is not $15 an hour. And $15 an hour does you jack shit.
Oh, you can't do $15 an hour. Oh, socialism. A Big Mac will be $90. Yeah, in Denmark, they pay their guys $22 a fucking hour, and a Big Mac is 70 cents more.
Mm-hmm. But it's all bullshit because at the end of the day, a fucking Big Mac still costs me $7, and we don't even have any of the checks and balances in the sense of like risk to reward situations that we are enjoyed in some of the other nations, right? You know what I mean? Like. You guys, I think that we shot ourselves in the foot, especially with companies like Target and Walmart, where they're the kings of that shit.
Yeah, just don't let them lie to you that, everything will be so out of whack. If we don't have illegal aliens picking our fucking grapes will be $30 a fucking bushel. Well, grapes $30 a bushel before we started letting illegal aliens into the country to pick them? Well, no.
That's because they've always had somebody to pick them. That's the only reason why that fucking
before that it was slave.
Yeah.
Before that it was slave.
The fuck out of here. Right?
But but it's all bullshit anyway because government writes subsidies for agriculture, so they can basically decide the fucking price with it has nothing to do with the fucking market.
First of all, I'm gonna throw somebody under the bus here real quick. I love all these acronyms. The FDA is corrupt as a motherfucker. You don't think the FDA, and that's who checks all our food or anything that goes inside our body. You don't think somebody's paying somebody left or right to go, but like, well, you know what, that milk was okay, but this milk is really good. You gonna fuck with this milk, you gonna fuck with that tomato and that cheese. Please stop.
Yeah, the FDA.
The FDA is garbage. The FDA is garbage. They need to fucking some of these big corps that are like government corps need to be abolished. Start some new shit.
Yeah.
Start some new shit, bro.
Because dude, the fucking thing is like people don't realize that it's lobbyists writing our laws.
Right.
That's who's literally writing the laws. And they're writing them to benefit these fucking companies.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And
all of a sudden I'll Snapple and I want to push some grapes through. I want to fucking put $300 billion in my efforts to push grape throughs.
Yep.
But when I push
Yep.
grape throughs through the senator, guess what? Now I made $1 gazillion.
Yep. Now I just need to bribe the senator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's all it really is. And that's why, we pretended like we cared about like long-term politics, and that's why Trump squeezed his way in, because he wasn't a long-term politician. But that's absolute
Right.
bullshit. The narrative needs to change. Long-term rich motherfucker, okay? I don't care what position now you hold. It needs to be reevaluated, because you
Yeah.
motherfuckers are beasting. And we let
You
y'all
look.
rock. We let y'all rock. And look
You
what
look.
happened.
Everyone in government is rich.
Yes. Bro, I told you. Didn't I tell you the joke the other day? I thought I wanted to stab to death my motherfucking guidance counselor for not letting me do juice and play baseball. I take it back now. I would stab him in the throat for not telling me to go into politics. I would have
Yep.
made way more money. Way more
It's
money.
not too late, dude.
I know.
Hey, it's never too late to start a
I know.
political career.
I was just gonna make a joke. Fucking politics are like golf, bro. You never run out of time, right?
Yeah, like
It's the one sport you can play
decide
forever.
to be a politician.
Trust me,
Yeah.
I thought about it. In this same discussion, and it sucks that it's towards the end, and most people have checked out. But this is what I wanted to say. Things will only change until we, the people, don't destroy. We, the people, don't have a riot or mass destruction. When we, the people, start taking office, that's when we're gonna change shit.
When we start what?
Taking office.
What I think we need is a general strike.
Bro, I've been about the strike. I was talking to you about the strike like way back. Like when
Yeah.
Homeboy got the fucking knee on the neck. I told you that if I was LeBron James, I would have never played basketball again.
Yep. It's a wrap right there. Yep.
Yeah, like
That
fuck
would have been
y'all.
a wrap for me too.
Sorry.
Yep.
Check this out. I'm not doing that anymore. You guys are horrible people.
I get so mad at people. They'll criticize LeBron, and what you guys don't think about is that like LeBron has a bunch of aunts and uncles.
Yeah, he got
and
he
cousins.
got a lot of motherfuckers to feed.
Well, he's got nephews and nieces, and they're not a 6-foot famous black guy. They're just regular old black people walking down the street, and they're not safe. And they're always like, "Oh, well, you're so rich and blah blah blah." And it's like, yeah, but all the niggas I know from my childhood, and all my friends from my childhood, and all my family, they're fucking black, and I care about them, and they're likely to get fucked up, And I just get so sick of. They're like, "Oh, you athletes, you're so ungrateful." And I'm so sick of that, the ungrateful nigga. I'm so tired of that shit. Oh, you should be grateful that you're not a slave anymore. Motherfuckers have like the nerve to say, "Oh, well, it's better than it used to be."
I know that seems to be like the ringing narrative on that front, which sucks. But
Yeah, it is better than it used to be.
I think that it sucks because Tiger is not where Tiger should be. I think it sucks that Michael.
Tiger doesn't even consider himself a nigga,
Right.
But he got his nigga wake up call.
Of course he did. Michael's not in the building, and I'm not talking about Jackson. I'm talking about Jordan, right? Right. So we don't have Michael the way that everybody thought that we should have. But now we have LeBron. Yeah, sorry, we had a little bit of the technical difficulties. What I was saying was this. Back in 1963, back in 1962, back in 1961, back in 1960, we had people to follow. And there were some dudes out there that didn't give a fuck. And they wanted us for them to like maybe find their position interesting. I don't really think, like, when you think about Michael Jordan really wasn't political, right? Like, they didn't attach that to him. and the way they fucking murdered most of the motherfuckers in the 60s, I think the closest guy to that would have been Muhammad Ali. And then Muhammad Ali, I don't know if they put something in his potion, but I don't really believe you take that many hits to the head and you turn out to be him. So maybe he was even on the motherfucking agenda because the FBI was crazy. So what I'm saying is, moving into this thing, we have not as a people found an ambassador. And LeBron James is probably the closest. I think Tiger was flirting with it, but because it was golf and he fucked with white folk, they were like, nah, motherfucker, we can't really fuck with you.
All of them have this problem. They all have the same problem. And Michael Jordan looks back, and now he's regretful that he's opened his mouth. But it's all about, like I said, this is why you can't become rich. Because you, in order to appeal to a wider audience, you become a corporate dick.
That's true. Hey, by the way, I don't mean to interrupt you. Like, the room was shrinking on me and the lights were fucking with me. And you know what I thought about? I was like, damn, something's wrong. And then I was like, oh shit, I'm tripping on shrooms. But anyways, keep telling me a story. I swear to God, my dude. Like, shit was happening to my life right now. And I'm like, wait, what is going on? And then, no, it was just the shrooms.
That's right.
It was the shrooms. I want some shrooms.
Oh, that's right. I took some shrooms. You know what shrooms do that nothing else does?
Tell me.
Your shrooms will take a corner of the room and move that entire corner of the room up 8 inches.
Bro, that was what just was happening to me right now. Like, I got you on the call, and I was like, okay, secure the call. And then I was like, why is that corner of the room fucking with me right now?
Yeah, it's like moving up. Like,
oh my God, I love you so much. You know, I'm gonna put it out here for the record. I hope she listens to this one day. I think my girl is like jealous about our bromance. Isn't that weird? What's wrong with women? Like, they just don't. They haven't figured it out. They have not figured it out. Let me tell you, before you tell me, and I don't even know I'm putting this in the motherfucker because I'm talking shit, but the moment you guys all get along, you guys will win. The reason why we've been winning for so long is because we get together with some other guys and we win. It's that simple. There's no bigger Rubik's Cube formation. Damn, I'm tripping balls right now, by the way. God damn. Go ahead.
A woman wants her mate to be her best friend.
Okay. All right. Boom. This is good. I like when we get into the love part department. Let's go, love boat. What we got?
But
what does it do?
The bonds of friendship for men are just easier because our competitions
there's just no pussy, right?
Are different. Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
I think there's no pussy. I think that's what it is. I try to make a lot of friends.
It's just that
Tell me.
Girls compete for men. Women in our society.
That makes sense. Right, that makes sense.
Right. I have to compete for you for something I have to.
And not only that, I gotta compete against this other bitch for this motherfucker.
Exactly. But men have to compete. We compete against each other in other things. All the time.
Yeah,
in getting girls.
My best friend would be somebody who I'm competing with on a regular basis. And in women world, they feel like that's a disservice to them.
Exactly.
They feel
they don't hang out with their people that might be an adversary or something.
Correct. So damn, that's good. Damn. By the way, I'm tripping balls like you couldn't even imagine. The colors and everything is losing my mind. But I'm really caught up on this thing when we're talking about that for a second was like they can't realize that one part, right? Like we compete all the time against each other, but when we break lunch, we're just dudes. After lunch, I'm gonna go fuck you up. I'm gonna go fuck you up again. I promise you. but we're
Yeah,
able
right.
to compartmentalize, I guess, better. And
Yeah.
they're supposed to be the better ones at the compartmentalizing things. How isn't that weird?
It's just, I don't know.
Right? Isn't
You
that
know,
isn't that some
that's what
shit?
it is.
Isn't that some shit,
But
bro?
that's what it is. She's supposed to be your best friend, not your best friend.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, and I try to explain it, bro. I've been through like terrible relationship with another one, trying to explain it to them. I'm just like, you guys don't get it. You guys don't get it. And you know
but
what?
like
Every smart woman I've ever told this to, and they
love.
right, yes. Every smart woman, and I'll let you jump in on this. Every smart woman I've ever talked to, I say, you know what? If you motherfuckers got along, you guys will kill. And they go, we know. But anyways, what were you saying?
Just, like, I don't know. I wish she could just get inside you and see the difference in feelings that you have for the two of us,
Right.
and like that it's not like this isn't feeling that
And you know what's so
competes
crazy?
with one another.
You know what
This
the
is
word
a
is?
feeling-
No, you know what the word is? Solidarity. Like, you constantly feel solidarity to your guy. Because
Yep, and you understand each other.
yeah,
It's
like,
just a different,
right,
like just a different thing.
we you know what's so weird? We don't even have fucking kids, and we get it. Like, you would think their solidarity shit would come through like, well, I had a kid, so did you. Okay, cool. We're moms. We should be together. When for us, fuck, you could like the same team and we're besties for life. We don't even need that kind of connection.
Right? It could be a trivial connection.
It's like, bro, this motherfucker likes the Yankees like I like the Yankees. That's it. We're done.
Yep. Or this dude likes Robotech like I like Robotech.
Or to pull it full circle, this guy is a proud boy like I'm a proud boy. So fuck it, I'm gonna join the bandwagon. Let's go, right?
And it's just, I've definitely noticed that because I can tell that she loves me, but she gets pissed at me sometimes.
No.
She's like, nigga, it's 4 a.m. Let my husband go to bed.
I think she just we're still getting we're newlyweds still, and she just
Well,
doesn't.
tell her if she wants to solve my problem, send one of her fucking hot friends my way.
By the way, so look, so we'll talk more shit, right, on this thing. What hot bitches? So let's rewind the tape a little bit. Dating is fucking like dead because of COVID. What friends? How are you supposed to like? Imagine the people, right? Because I wanted to touch on this. Imagine the people that are like being mentally distraught from not meeting people, not being at a bar, not talking to cats, not talking to girls. Like, even if they don't close, just that thing. I show up every fucking day. Tabitha's my bartender, and Willie comes to my side, and Jake is the guy. He comes at 4:00. Like, nigga, you seen it, you know it, and there's a comfortability with that.
Yeah, you need it. Yeah, there's a lot of people that need that human contact.
So now,
I've always gotten it over the phone.
Yeah, me
There's
too.
several people that I talk on the phone for hours.
Yeah, but I feel like we're a dying breed because, like I told you earlier, or maybe I didn't tell you earlier. I think I did. We were recording. No one has a
These motherfuckers don't answer the phone.
Not only they don't answer the phone, no one has a landline. So the whole thing of phones, right? If you were thinking about it, like if it was like a takeover, and the first thing they were trying to tell you was things not to do, the phone would be the last thing you would do. Because it said, "Hey, you should get a cell phone." Hey, who the fuck has a landline? Hey, don't even worry about picking up the phone, because if you have a fucking internet thing, you could just text them.
Yeah. And then it's like, well, fuck. Now I might not even have a phone carrier.
Right.
Because everyone has Wi-Fi and text apps. Like, it just keeps, I mean, the communications thing, very soon, it's going to be an implant, and you and I
What are
are
you
going
talking
to be
about
able to
very
have
soon?
this
What's wrong
conversation.
with you? You're fucking lost. You're not even paying attention to your best friend.
I know the Neuralink is out.
That's
but,
it.
like,
That's the beginning and to the end to the whole thing, bro. The moment these motherfuckers are capturing what your brain does, it's a wrap, bro.
yeah.
Get the fuck
Yeah,
out of
that's
here.
a
That sounds
problem,
crazy. I love you so much,
That's a
Elon.
problem.
You're my guy, bro. You're my Tony Stark cousin. You know how dangerous this is. You know how you're talking about a fucking Christopher Nolan type of movie where it's like mental hijacking of the minds of people in the world. Like, are we really living this shit?
Yeah.
Like, where the fuck are we at?
Yeah.
Like
they're literally getting to the point where, they're going to be able to implant and read your thoughts.
And then some guys, because you're so powerful, some dude, like, instead of somebody hijacking you to take your fucking lungs, someone's going to hijack you to take your brain. Because that brain has accounts. No, I'm being, bro, that's what we're trending. We're trending in that way. Listen. Yep. Because I love Elon, because I love Tony Stark, because I love science, because I love so many things, you have to be a futurist. And in a futurist, you have to
I'm not afraid. I'm excited for this shit.
It's not about that.
The only thing I'm afraid of is AI wiping us out.
I'm not worried about that. What I'm saying is watching the trend is just fucking ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. And they're totally going to wipe us out. We have no idea. We don't even know, bro. Think about this, right? People don't even think about this. A dude made a movie in the 80s that fucking said where the fuck we would be at right now. How in the fuck, bro, in the 80s? Do you know how big a cell phone was? Yes. That shit plays hard to every fucking thing that's going down, bro. The government...
Terminator 2 Judgment Day is one of my, is in my all-time top 5 of movies. That movie is fucking awesome.
I think it's probably the top 5. We're not even looking at it right now, but it's probably top 5. Fuck. Sci-fi movie. No. You have to put it in a genre because it's not the greatest movie of all time. You have to put it in a genre. It is the top 5 science fiction film of all times, and you could make an argument it's only rivaling Matrix 1. That's how good it was.
I was going to say it's the Matrix.
Yeah, that's how good it was. This motherfucker made a fucking stupid story about some computers taking over in the future. Yep. If I would have told you that story in 1981, before the movie even came out, you would have been like, bro, get the fuck out of here. I'm about to buy my new answering machine and my new telephone.
Yep. It's got time travel in it too, which is like,
that's what I
think the only thing that the Matrix is missing.
Damn, I'm tripping so good on this stem right now. I feel great. I agree with you about the Matrix not including time travel, because that would have actually, I think they should have brought that into. I think they were trying to into.
Well, they touched on it a little bit because
that would have been more profound if they brought it more into it, right? God damn, everything is moving. By the way, shit. Sorry,
dude. I'm telling you, that was always the weirdest thing about mushrooms for me. Is the shit wouldn't move around, but the entire room would shift. Like I'd just be chilling, and all of a sudden, the whole room moves up 3 inches and over 2 inches to the right. What the fuck?
Yeah, there's a lot of things happening. I'm trying to like keep it cool because I only took like a quarter stem, but goddamn, this stem is fire. Like I've never taken. I usually get like I usually take a cap and get this kind of results.
Right.
This stem shit got the walls. The walls breathing. The walls are breathing right now.
Go listen to that song.
No, get out of here.
Real good,
I love you so much. Get the fuck out of here with that song. I love you. We're recording all of this and I'm going to post all of this shit because we got to do it for our family and our friends and for people that don't think that we're not crazy. My man, there is no goddamn way I would listen to... I shouldn't say that, but I'm not there yet. How about that? My friend really enjoyed a song for a very long time and lost time of time. Imagine that. How do
One
you
of
lose
these
time?
days, man.
How do you lose time of time? Right? My friend
One of
lost.
these days,
Oh,
you're
for
gonna
sure.
you're gonna thank me for that song.
My dude, I'm totally down. I don't listen. I don't disbelieve. I just think it's weird
Yeah,
as an artist
it is.
that is producing. I don't want no interference, and that sounds so lame. But like,
So it's just you dig it, dude. It's funny. Yeah, I don't know. I did lose a lot of. I've been. That's the one thing that this isolation has done to me that I never thought that would happen.
right? Imagine
Is
that. Imagine that.
is that I
No
tricked by myself.
people. Yeah, like okay, even us who were on the outskirts, right? We still needed kind of a small security blanket to make us seem like we're normal. But
Right.
even us not getting that tiny bit of touch almost has us a bit of out of touch, which is strange
Well,
because
yeah. I mean, it's not wearing
as
you a little
people
bit,
in
dude.
the
You're a social
hospitality
guy.
business, we touch everybody.
Yeah, constantly. That's like what you do for a living.
Yes. That's why I get mad at managers when they don't want to fucking show up. I'm like, listen, cocksucker, I've talked to everybody in this goddamn building. Get the fuck out of the office. Go talk to somebody.
Like, that's the one thing I love about Ivica, dude. Is he's never in the office, except like 30 minutes after service. You know, like he'll be in the office for maybe a half
Yeah,
hour after service.
you gotta
is
be
done.
on the floor, bro. You gotta be grinding. You gotta know, bro. But anyways, I wanted to
guys-
get back to something that we was talking about, and I think that we didn't do it enough justice. So I want to bring it back because we lost the phone call and everything. Bro, to me, LeBron James is like, I don't even know. He's Superman, and I don't mean to be like stupid to say something like that, but like I just finished watching all the DC movies, and when you're talking about like gods and emulation, like he's that dude. He outlasted Michael Jordan. He outlasted Kobe Bryant. He outlasted Tiger Woods.
Yep.
He outlasted all these dudes. So homeboy's sitting on a really interesting place when you're talking about like
What?
making a movement, right?
Who,
And-
LeBron?
yeah, and like I was saying before, the moment homeboy, maybe it wouldn't happen that fast for me, but the moment somebody put somebody's knee on somebody's neck like that, I would have quit, man. Bro, I remember when I watched it, my stomach turned. Like, real talk. And then I remember the second time I seen it, because it was just going through my feed, I was like, must be a joke or something. Because they keep blasting it, right? And like, I'm not trying to laugh.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, if in my first of all, I don't even know how to talk to the audience and try to make them understand this. This might be, one for the greats, but in my mind, at that point, we hadn't really seen outside of Rodney King something so like video profound. And I'm high as shit, so
Yeah.
I'm probably not gonna be making a lot of sense right now. But like,
No, I understand what you're saying.
like I know, but the audience might judge me because I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. I'm glad you do, but like in that same thing, and like, bro, I almost threw up, right? And then
Yeah, just watching.
yeah, and then
Yes. Something so visually,
I'm a
like
joke,
so much cruelty.
right? Yeah, like you're literally killing. Like we've never seen the personification of death being more in a position of that video. That was the
Yeah,
worst.
it's-
Like we seen
it
someone
was
die.
so cruel.
We
And it
seen
was so
someone
horrible to
die
watch someone.
for 8 minutes because they weren't dead the whole time. We watched
Yep.
life go away.
And I watched another guy do it and not even give a fuck.
I didn't care so much about that. I'm just saying I seen a life being taken. LeBron James, bro. And again, not a thing to you. He might get mad at me for saying shit like this. Maybe we see each other and we talk it out. I don't know what the fuck to say. I would have quit basketball, bro. I would have quit everything if I was fucking Tom Brady. Bro, someone told me the other day, was it you? I think it might have been a dream. Someone was telling, oh, we just had it. It was you. Damn, I'm so high. It was you. Bro, if I was in an interview with the all-time interview of my life and some guy said the most egregious thing in the whole wide world, and if they told me that this was what it was going with, I'm like, I quit. I'm not going to have white supremacists on my show. That's not happening. Fuck you.
Yeah,
That's not
like,
happening.
oh, you want to kill a bunch of people?
Yeah. So,
I mean,
I'm not saying that
would literally, it's like having a fucking Wahhabi terrorist on your show.
Bro.
Like, yeah, we should kill America. We should murder every American.
I understand entertainment, but it would have been really fucking hard for me to go through it, bro. Like, imagine the questions you're asking this dude. Like, I'm like, bro. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna fuck you up right now. You say one more thing. Like, it would have got personal. You know what I mean? Like fuck. Right? And that's what I'm saying. We watched a man die for 9 minutes, yet LeBron James continues to play basketball.
What do you mean your gang will kill people?
Right.
Like clarify that. What do you mean you'll kill people in the interview with him?
Bro,
like I can just see him.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, but we'll
so look at what we just had a conversation, because I'm so high and this is so good. Within the time that we talked, we were able to maybe try to make someone understand being interviewed as a white supremacist. In that same fucking token, someone died 9 minutes in, and dudes continued, and that's why I say. It's all bullshit. Don't put the jersey. Don't put the name on your back. Don't put it on the fucking stadium. Like the protests, and this is what I was trying to get at, because I think it was like a long way of our conversation. I think that a large portion of things, like for example, granted, everybody wanted to vote Democratic, and they thought that was going to save the day. But what if nobody votes ever? How about that? We don't vote on anything.
Yep.
We vote nothing.
Right. What if we just boycott that bullshit?
Yeah, we boycott that. How about buying? We don't buy nothing. Don't worry about that too. We'll figure that out. We don't buy shit from you. Right? Like, and these are the things. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I hate to make LeBron. I hate to make LeBron the guy, right. But it's weird because Kyrie is looking like really fucked up. Because he's
you're
like,
right, dude.
I don't want to play.
That's
Fuck
how
y'all.
you get him. Is you boycott.
Yeah.
Is you boycott. Is you don't play. You don't spend. That's how you get them.
It's weird. We're using like a fucking play from like 100 years ago to combat COVID. We still have not figured out a fucking play or a fucking playbook on how to beat racism in this country, and it's just been ridiculous. And like gross.
Well, you got a lot of people, including a nice 1.5% to 2% of blacks, that will stand up and say that racism isn't even really a thing, and it's not really a problem.
No,
I still have that element.
I know, that's crazy. Isn't that bananas? That's how good the fucking agenda has been. That they got motherfuckers buying it on the other side. They're like, yeah, that's not real. That shit don't exist. My motherfucking zip code. We all get along in my zip code.
Right. And you don't even know what redlining is.
No.
Like,
you don't know what. You don't know. That's why I'm so happy that you said you fucking have it queued up. Watch that shit, bro. Fuck that first episode. Right. What happened in Tulsa needs to fucking be exploded onto the planet. Like, what?
Yeah,
are you people
needs to know that?
Are you fucking kidding me? You guys are ridiculous that I didn't learn about this. I'm more pissed off that you guys kept it from me for this long. Just as much as I'm pissed off about redlining.
The thing about it is that was one incident, but that was the pervasive attitude of the country, which is
Right.
like, I'm not going to stand here and watch these niggers make money while I'm poor. So we're going to go and get them. And they just would. Like, do you ask, why do niggers not want to? Oh, they're lazy. Well, yeah, because for a bunch of time they do shit, and you just come and destroy it.
Right, yeah. You're like catching it like at a low point type of shit. Like you're just taking advantage of motherfuckers. Like if I was fucking hitting the sleigh all day, and then you're like asking me questions, I'm like, all I want to do is sleep. I can give a flying fuck. How about what the fuck the agenda is, right?
Like this one guy, my a friend I used to work with at older guy.
By the way, these shrooms are so good, bro. Like the fucking bro, like the ceiling is bleeding. It's so good.
So, black guy goes out and gets a donkey. Starts carrying produce to the street fair. Starts making a living, doing kind of well. Ends up getting a second one. Wakes up the next day. Both of his donkeys have been killed. Not because he did anything to anyone, because he was a goddamn nigger. And I'm not going to sit here and watch this nigger do well while we starve. And there was no justice for that guy. And that has been like, it's just all these details of how these people were treated post-Civil War.
No, it's so sad, bro, because people think that it's like this Crimea River shit, but it's like, yo, bro, you actually weren't listening the whole time the Justin Bieber song was going. Like, if you really listened to the motherfucking song, you guys would have really heard some shit.
You know, like when his uncle was killed because, you know, because he was a nigger. And they just decided they were going to kill him. Or we used to lynch people, and it was like a thing that people would have picnics to. We're like, yeah, let's go have a picnic and watch this nigger get hung. Wait, you'd have picnics? Yeah, we're going to have a picnic and watch, bring the kids. And we're going to lynch us a coon.
Dude, I told you, and we'll put a little bit, so we could get it kind of grounded. Dude, I'm really sad to be an American. And I had a dude tell me that with this new administration, he feels super excited. I'm like, bro, I would not be super excited about jack shit. These motherfuckers, like, history repeats itself, and
don't be.
This nation,
you know where you could be excited? If Bernie was elected president, you'd have a reason to be excited.
But you know what? Now that you bring up Bernie, I think this is an interesting debate, and maybe I'm gonna lose this one. But Bernie, like, continues to want to burn down the billionaire shit.
What do you mean?
He's for the way they show him, he's someone that that's like totally against big corporations making money, let's say. And I'm against that too, but they make it seem like when Bernie's talking, he's gonna ruin it for everybody.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, like they said, oh, the Big Mac is going to be $90, right? I'm just saying, if you wanted to be excited about actual change, if Bernie were to have been elected, I think there would be actual change. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden are Wall Street Democrats. They are Wall Street corporate Democrats.
Is that a new? Is that a new thing? Right?
What?
I like that. I like that Wall Street Democrat, because that's what
they are.
Yes, that's 100% what they are.
That's what fucking Obama was.
So you might have started with Barry. Well, actually, I think it went back to the NAFTA thing. Was the NAFTA thing a Democratic push?
NAFTA was great for Wall Street.
Right, of course it was. But what I was saying, was that a Democratic agenda or Republican agenda?
Another Wall Street No, it's a Republican idea that the Democrats pushed through. That's why I get so angry, because the Republicans get power and they say elections have consequences, and they start getting their most right-wing shit they can, and they jam it down your fucking throat. Tax cuts for the rich, corporate tax cuts, cut regulations, blah, 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 which means, stuff like allow more shit, actual feces in the river. That's what cut regulations mean. It means allow more asbestos in the schools. That's what cut regulations means. It means allow more fucking rat parts in your food. That's what cut regulations mean. And they jam right wing. And then the left gets all the power. And they're like, okay, let's compromise. Let's take more of your legislation and pass it. And that's why I don't fucking understand it. That's why I get so fucking angry. Because Obama gets all three things and then passes Obamacare, which is a Republican idea for health insurance. Which is a corporate Republican, keep the insurance companies rich idea for health insurance. And then the dumb nigger gets his ass fucking burned for passing their shit. Like, you pass their shit, and then they're like, oh, you stupid fucking asshole. That our policy sucks. You shouldn't have passed it. Well, it's not our policy, it's your policy, and it sucks. You shouldn't have passed it. But wait a minute, that was your shit. Well, yeah, and you were stupid to pass it. And it's like, okay, they make all this effort to compromise.
I see all the hoopla, right? What are your final thoughts on? I mean, obviously we know what your final thoughts are on this, but I would like to, like, as a poli-sci guy, how do you evaluate Trump's administration?
Oh shit!
The whole thing.
What was good about it?
I don't know.
What was good about it?
I don't know. I'm too high to fucking even make an argument for this. But
well, no, I get so many people.
Well, everybody. So the tax cut, I think, was like a thing. But I think if you look at it,
you know what Trump's agenda was?
To abolish,
undo everything that the nigger president made.
Right.
Anything that Obama did, undo it. That's all his administration.
Listen, you gotta listen. I know you know this better than me, and we're only talking because we're reckless. You gotta be careful, Whitey, right? Because it's just every fucking organization undoes what the other dude did, right? Because
that's not true.
Hold on,
that's not true at all.
Hold on. I'm not saying that when Obama came into office, he was trying to dismantle what George Bush did, but George Bush didn't do shit. So there's a way of flavoring it now that I'm on the shrooms and the walls are purple and green.
Well, no, George Bush did.
I'm talking about a lot. You talking about Junior?
He just didn't do anything domestically. He spent more money than any president ever.
Okay,
except
so what does that mean?
All on war.
For the layman people, what the fuck does that mean?
I mean that, like, George Bush, he during his presidency, they spent trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars on illegal wars.
Right, because fucking Dick Cheney was running the show.
Yeah, right.
So what I'm saying is, if Dick Cheney pulled or built this whole thing, the moment Obama was in the building, he's trying to break all that shit down. So it's basically each president tries to abolish what the last president did. That's where we're at right
they
now.
just pulled out the wars, dude. Like, let's see, obstruction didn't happen until we got Obama. That's a new thing. Like, shit didn't get. Obama's presidency was when there was a dramatic shift in how government moved. When Obama was elected, that's when government stopped working.
Really? Okay, so this is fascinating to me. So in your studies, This is what you have found. The same way we study the Chiefs.
Well, I
and the
wasn't
same way
studying. This was just me.
No.
This was just me being alive.
No, but this is real stuff because we're looking. It's the same shit, bro. It's like when you fucking go a road versus whoever, right? We gotta look at the stats.
Yeah.
So in your studies of the history, you're telling me that no one dealt with the same kind of friction that Obama did.
Right.
During his presidency.
Like
prior up until him. So before him, after him, nobody got the same shit. He got an extra level of scrutinization. No. I'm saying like this is crazy.
Yeah.
Right. The whole thing fucked up. The moment they let a black man in office, so boom.
Yep. Because, like, dude, again, he put forth their policy, right? Their idea for healthcare, right? And they didn't vote for it.
That's
he
crazy.
Didn't put in left-wing healthcare, which would have been single payer, or a public option. No, he put in what the conservatives wanted, what they were doing already in Massachusetts under Mitt Romney. It was their policy, but they didn't have a single vote for it. Obama could have been like, I got a deal, free blowjobs for everybody. And the Republicans wouldn't have signed on for that. He didn't get a vote for anything from them. And it wasn't like that. In the 80s, motherfuckers did deals all the time. They did compromises from both sides. Tip O'Neill and Ronald Reagan were famous for passing a bunch of fucking legislation. Obama wasn't able to pass anything because he couldn't get a Republican vote for anything because they wouldn't vote for the nigger. Obstruction. They didn't even let him make Supreme Court appointments. They didn't allow it. He just wouldn't have a vote on it. Why? Who knows? They had a vote on Amy Coney Barrett a week before the election.
You talking about the first election or the second election?
For the right before Trump was voted out.
Oh, you talking
they
about
just voted in the Supreme Court justice in 7 days when they wouldn't even let Merrick Garland speak. They wouldn't even consider him. He said, "Oh, it's an election year, and we don't appoint judges in an election year." And then he appoints a judge 7 days before the election. Oh, I fucking hate Mitch McConnell. What a cunt!
Bro, by the way, I don't really talk like a lot of shit to these dudes, but fuck Mitch McConnell, bro.
Word up.
And fuck a lot of these old dudes that are like in charge of what the rest of us are fucking doing.
Thank you.
Like you guys are so out of touch. Bro, you know, so crazy. Even fucking quarterbacks go into the. Tom Brady is an anomaly. Like everybody pastures. Why don't these guys pasture?
Retire. Nancy Pelosi, you're 90. You can't even keep your fucking dentures in, bitch. Retire. And also, you're about to die. You're not even going to be around to deal with the fucking legislation that you're passing. We should have 40 and 50-year-olds or 30-year-olds in government.
We gotta be way younger than that, man. I know 30's good. 30's good, but still, like, I'm just like, especially the way we're headed and we're trending. I'm like, y'all motherfuckers are so good. Like, it was like, it was almost today. Check this out. You know, it's a funny thing. And this is just within speaking of changing of the guard. I literally asked Josh Booty, do you have a TikTok account? And he goes, what is TikTok?
Do you have a what account? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I said he doesn't know what a TikTok account is.
He doesn't know what his what account?
We got you, San Diego. Masi Nissan.
To the people that we're piecing it out to the people that were hopefully listening to all of this with the tirade of the government shit, bro. I am so fucking high right now.
Just one stem, huh?
I beasted. So yeah, the one stem got me, but then I did the other one, so I don't even know what's happening. Like,
Okay.
oh yeah, I went ham. I don't want to come back.
Yeah, we doubled down.
Yeah, apparently reality is not that dope.
Well, it's always nice to augment it a little bit.
I found it fascinating as I was talking to you. Things were like fucking up, and I was like, "Is there people like joining my discussion?" And then I was like, "No, bro, you're just high." Because I kept feeling like or seeing like movements in my eyes as I was like talking to you, and I was just like, "Fuck." It doesn't, bro? I didn't, fucking shrooms, bro. You gotta love psychedelics. You gotta love the psychedelics, baby.
Psychedelics are the only time when I realize that, like, I don't have to smoke any more pot.
It is the end all be all.
Yeah. I'd actually like to get all the way to Crazy Town here in a little bit. Maybe get out of the house one of these times and get down to the beach and see some waves. Because
I don't know how that would work. I find that interesting because I know you always keep talking about getting high, going there. I'm already like so blown away with the ocean that I don't know if I would want to do that. I feel like I would be like so sensory overload because I'm a pussy.
Dude, it is honestly when you are on any type of hallucinogen, I would recommend LSD 25. And you head out to that pier on Ocean Beach on a day where you're getting like a fair amount of waves, like if you have, say, I don't know, 4-footers. It's overwhelming and it's just amazing. It really is. It's like amazing. And the beauty, especially if you get to see day turn to night or night turn to day. It's a really good time to be at the beach. And I could stare at the waves for literally 5-6 hours in a row. And just have this huge shit-eating grin on my face. Because with the way that the sunlight hits off the waves and the reflections of the lights and the colors and it's really amazing. It's by far the best thing I've ever done while using a hallucinogen is get out on that pier. It's maybe a 2-mile long pier or a mile long pier, something like that. And it has maybe 4 or 5 different parts to it. There's the parts where the waves are crashing. There's the part that's way, way out. It's really, really cool. Like, unbelievably cool. Like, probably nothing I'd rather do other than have sex.
I'm looking at my couch turn into faces. I can only imagine what it would be like looking at a sunset, right? Or looking out to that.
Like, that's what I'm saying. The purples and the pinks and the oranges, and the grays and blues, they all kind of breathe into one another, So like, it's spectacular. LSD makes nature look so awesome. especially light and reflections off of water, and the way that water moves is so elegant. The parallel lines that are going through the water as the waves are created and off the backs of them are also just like
Dude,
some of the most beautiful things you'll ever see in your life.
You know, I wonder,
like you'll cry because the shit is so pretty.
I wonder if it's like circumstantial, or was it whatever it was, because I'm so high. But the anticipus of all of that happening in the West Coast, right? Like that shit would never fly in the East.
What's that?
LSD, watching the sunset, being cool. Like what you're talking about is like hippie theories, bro. We're fucking hippies now. We're fucking hippies. Like to fucking want to get high and just watch the sunset, that's considered like a hippie thingy. That's crazy.
Yeah, well, you know, if you actually try what I'm telling you, you know, whether you're a hippie or not, you're going to be like, oh my God, I didn't know nature could possibly be this beautiful. I remember once I was at the beach with fucking Bobby Mann, and it was like the reflections off the water and the sunset itself, and like, again, the pinks and the purples and it was just incredible. Like epic. It's a very, very good place. It's the best possible place to do this that I've seen so far.
No, I think it's incredible. Brandon, we want to thank you so much for giving us all this knowledge. Always coming onto the show, and I don't know. You're definitely. I'm not saying my north star, but someone that I
Well,
enjoy talking to and bounce things off of.
we'll be all over the place tonight.
I tell you
We
this.
should find a way to maybe focus our attention a little bit more when we do these podcasts, you know, where like tonight we're doing politics and only politics. And
But
tomorrow we're doing Chiefs.
I know I'm a sick piece of shit, so I just gotta get you all over the place because I know eventually you'll listen. So my thing is like,
Yeah, we'll get something to
I'm like literally trying to sew into you that eventually, if you start listening to this, you start getting part of the program, because of course that is the direction that we're trying to go in, which is some kind of direction. But you know what I mean.
Well, it was my pleasure to be the guest star this evening. And now that it's almost 6 a.m, I will be taking my black ass to bed.
You damn right. Stage. You gotta go to stage right.
Yeah, and we'll talk about some football in a couple days. We'll make it a good one.
I know. Isn't that fascinating that the NFL gets a week off for press?
I love it.
Of course, everybody loves it. It's fucking. It's why.
Because now Sammy Watkins will be back to play, so even better.
That's what I'm saying. You guys look at it as a different thing. ESPN is gonna fucking run to the
Well,
bank.
we're gonna need all the help we can get, so I'll take it.
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening. Brandon, thank you for your time. Good night.
My pleasure.